Era 5 seems to be causing all kinds of panic across the fantasy football industry. And people are freaking out because the man had what looked like a shaky game. But when you dig into it, did he really have a shaky game? Or did he have a bunch of success that had a bad ending to a game where receivers dropped some footballs and panic ensued unnecessarily? We're breaking down AR5 and whether he belongs in the panic chamber. We're also talking about a whole bunch of other news. Zay Jones suspended for 5 games. What's that mean for Rashee Rice? I'll tell you what it means. We've got more Brandon Aiyuk. I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm sure you are too, but we got to talk about it. More Brandon Aiyuk news. And be quiet. Ma, don't tell anybody about Iosivas. You know the guy I told you about earlier?
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
We're getting to this thing in a second, so hang tight. We've got some breaking news. Zay Jones has been suspended for 5 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy. And this is a harsh reminder of what I've been saying all offseason, that eventually Rashee Rice will get suspended. But it's just not going to be likely this year. And so that's why Rashee Rice is an absolute gem and moon man, because we're not here to judge what he does on and off the field. I wish I could afford myself that flexibility to be like, you're going to be that kind of person off the field. I won't draft you. Get off my lawn. That's not my job. My job is to adjust and adapt to news. And over the last handful of weeks and months, it's been very apparent that Rashee Rice is probably escaping a suspension this year. Doesn't mean he'll escape it, as I've told so many of you. The Cardinals wide receiver Zay Jones suspended for 5 games. Let me read this to you just to give you a little bit of insight as to what's coming for Rashee Rice eventually. Cardinals receiver Zay Jones has been suspended 5 games for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy, the league announced Friday. Jones was arrested on a domestic battery charge in mid-November and spent the night in Duval County Jail before being released on bond the following day. The state attorney's office later dropped the misdemeanor charge, stating it declines to prosecute the defendant of these charges. But don't think that's happening with Rashee Rice. He abandoned a $1 million accident where people were left hurt and went to the hospital, and he ran away like a coward off the freeway with his buddies. His buddies and him were cowards, walked off the freeway, left people injured. Thank God nobody was seriously injured, or he would be in prison right now. And he's going to have to face the punishment that's coming for him. But like with the Kamara treatment, these things can get pushed back. And so the NFL, however, deemed the incident to be in violation of its policy, leading the league to ban the veteran receiver for 5 games on a dropped charge. So the charges were dropped. The state attorney's office usually does that when they think they can't win the case. They don't want a big L on their plate. Some evidence could get messed up, whatever the case may be. They decided to drop the misdemeanor charge and decline to prosecute. And the NFL still handed 5 games to Zay Jones. So it's just a harsh reminder, as I say here on my Instagram story. Make sure you're subscribed to me or follow me on Instagram. This is a healthy reminder that an eventual suspension is likely coming for Rashee Rice. ... Just not likely this season, which is why he's a moon man extraordinaire.
The moon men
There it is.
Loads in outer space.
Rice, Worthy, doing their thing on the moon man list, ladies and gentlemen. But just a harsh reminder that's coming. I just wanted to put that out there. But what a steal this year. And he's climbing up boards quick. People are very quick to grab him. Dare I say we move ADPs? I do think we do pretty tremendously. And, you know, I think the last couple of weeks have been good to him in terms of the news, just because people are projecting him not to get a suspension this year. Maybe this scares some people. into thinking, maybe he's going to get hit this year. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Jolt says horrible look to not suspend him this year. But Jolts, here's the thing though, bro. The conclusion of that case occurred, and that's when the NFL acts. So it's not like the NFL is overlooking Rashee Rice. A lot of anti-KC Chief people are like, look what's happening. The Chiefs just get all of the treatment. Everybody just says, oh, KC players aren't going to get suspended. They waited until the case was dropped, and then the NFL just laid down the law. So it's very consistent, actually, Jolts, with the way the NFL processes everything. And I think a lot of people from the sideline reporting people like Jolts, no offense, are going to look at this thing and say, well, why isn't Rashee Rice getting suspended? Because it still hasn't concluded yet. They wait until the legal process plays out before they usually take action. They can put him on the exempt list if they wanted and pay him, because they can't take action deemed as punishment. Paid leave is not considered that. Paid leave's like saying, hey, we're going to pay you to go take care of this. Come back, and then if it's a negative thing, we'll take care of it then. But that is an option, but not necessarily in motion for Rashee Rice's situation. So it seems like Rashee Rice will play until there's discipline handed down, which will be in 2025, and that's why he's going to play. Okay, let's see here. Zay Jones out 5 games. What's this mean? Michael Wilson season. Someone's got to catch footballs. Dortch, I like him. Not saying you can't go that direction too, but Michael Wilson to me looks like the part. It feels like it's going to happen in terms of this complementary role that's going to emerge from the overshadowed situation going on over in Arizona with MHJ just casting this shadow over everybody. Even McBride. People think McBride might not eat because MHJ is so good. That's not the case. Kyler's going to ball. He's going to throw the football. That's why Kyler Murray is a mother freaking Mars man.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
All right, Moon Man. I keep doing that.
Moon Man.
Sorry,
dropping
Kyler.
loads in outer space.
I think Kyler was on the Mars Man like months ago when he moved over to the Moon Man. And I forget sometimes if someone's moved. Doesn't mean it's a downgrade either. Doesn't mean just because you're on the Mars Man, Moon Man, that you're a bigger prediction. It sometimes is organized in terms of risk. There's more risk usually with Moon Men. There's usually a cheaper cost of entry with Moon Men. Not always necessarily, but as you can kind of see, everyone here, nobody holds like a 3rd or even really 4th round ADP except for Devontae Smith and DK, and they're borderline like Marsman material. It's just we ran out of room. Kyler Murray is a steal in round 6-7. He'll continue to be, and he's going to be absolutely monstrous this year at his cost of entry. And as we've said for months and months and months, you can steal him away. This guy's a top 5 QB. He was a top 5 QB walking out of his 2022 season injured, right? At that point, weeks 1 through, I believe it was 10, he was top 5. You extrapolate it out, top 5. He's a top 5 QB. And he didn't have MHJ. And he didn't really have McBride or anybody else yet at that point. And even when he came back last year after the injury and this offense was a cellar-dweller team and became a top 10 offense, he did it with McBride barely showing what McBride's capable of doing. He did it without MHJ. Michael Wilson, back on point, Michael Wilson was thought to be, and let me change this over to Michael Wilson before we get to AR5. Wilson! Chase Brown, we've got Michael Wilson potentially looking like one of those like end of your bench wide receiver sleepers, right? That you can grab and potentially use during bye weeks or if injury strikes. This guy is going to be fed. And there was a point in the early part of the offseason when we didn't know if the Cardinals were going to take MHJ or not going to take MHJ, even a part during like November, December, where we didn't know where their draft pick would even be. So there was talk about, is this kid potentially the number 1 in AZ, the eventual Michael Pittman, if you will. Never going to be Jamar Chase, never going to be St. Brown, but could he be the Michael Pittman, the wide receiver 1, kind of the low variety around the NFL, but capable of being the team's number one option and flourishing and getting bigger, stronger, better. Yeah, that was what the conversation being had about Wilson. Michael Wilson's a really good player. He's got a lot of grit. He's a good route runner. He seems like he could grow at every single facet of the game. I really like him. And this news right here puts him on the map even more, and it cements him into Kyler Murray's wheelhouse. It cements him into Kyler Murray's arsenal in a rotation that probably won't change much when Zay Jones comes back, because the rapport is going to be there. So you want a sleeper? Go ahead and grab Michael Wilson. Totally Smitty approved. This guy right here is also very Smitty approved. This guy right here, his name is Iosivas. We've talked about him a lot on this channel. And most people don't know how to find his name. Type in capital Iosivas. Looks like an L, feels like an L. You search for him, can't find him. A lot of people say, I can't find him in the database. Smitty, I can't find him in the database because you're probably spelling it with an L. Iosivas. I know it sounds like it too. Okay, what are we doing here? Iosivas, go find this kid. The Athletic is reporting that Iosivas will soak up the majority of snaps alongside of Chase and T. Higgins at 11 personnel. Now, Burton, I don't know why Burton's being shoved aside a little bit here, but Iosivas is a very attractive piece to add to your team. You could even grab both of them. And I really like what this kid could do. I really think he's got the potential to be I don't want to say Puka Nacua type rise or anything like that, but there's a potential to be some out of nowhere, this guy helped me at some capacity, win weeks or win multiple weeks or maybe even greater than that. Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. And Burton's still an absolute monster, but it's a very, very good grab if you're in need of a wide receiver. So 2 wide receiver sleepers on this show today being presented to you. Michael Wilson from the Arizona Cardinals and Iosivas from the Cincinnati Bengals. He's not a rookie. There's definitely, a hard time trying to find him in databases, and some tournaments and best ball, like when he wasn't in the player pool necessarily yet, people don't add him later. He's hard to find. Again, the spelling issue, spell it with an I. Iosivas, go get him. He's an absolute sleeping giant potentially in an amazing offense with Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow. So how could that be a negative? We've got, let's see, Brandon Aiyuk. A little Brandon Aiyuk news. Not much Brandon Aiyuk news. I don't want to go over this too much, but here's a report here from our boy Raj. I clipped off the bottom part of it. The report said this. Let me read it to you from Raj's page right now, and we'll discuss what it means. It says right here, the 49ers asked the Commanders for Terry McLaurin. Remember, we talked about this last night. Why did Terry McLaurin get traded? Did he get traded because the Niners maybe didn't want him? Remember when I said this last night? Everyone said if the Commanders were still involved, they would have traded Jahan Dotson over to the Niners. And I said, I don't know. I mean, maybe. There's definitely a possibility. We're kicking around all the ideas, but my thinking was maybe something's wrong with this kid in a way that, like, I don't know. He rubs people the wrong way. Maybe there's some bigger issues at hand that come out later. I don't know. I'm very hopeful of his time over in Philly, what it's going to look like. Cuff him to A.J. Brown. Cuff him to Devontae Smith. I think Jahan Dotson has some intriguing value. We loved him last year. Some intriguing value, but I don't know how much standalone value he's going to have. I don't know he's going to be a wide receiver 3 yet for anybody. Let's kind of pump the brakes on that. Not saying don't keep an open mind. Definitely reserve the right to get excited about Jahan Dotson in Philly as soon as we start to hear something or start to see something. But I think it's very smart to pump the brakes and look at him as like a cuff type player to A.J. Brown, to Devontae Smith. But this report is saying what we were talking about last night, that the Niners reportedly asked the Commanders for wide receiver Terry McLaurin or a first-round pick in exchange for Brandon Aiyuk. So it sounds like Dotson, and maybe a second is my guess. Could have maybe got it done, but the Niners reportedly wanted him, didn't want him. We don't know. There's reports all over the place. But it seems like the Commanders maybe don't want Brandon Aiyuk. It seems like maybe Adam Peters feels like he knows there's a distraction element here for JD5's growth. Maybe JD5 needs to be in this situation right now without the drama of Brandon Aiyuk, without bringing over a familiar face. He needs to get to know his offense, not try and come over and kind of mess up the chemistry that's already there between Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey, Ben Sinnott, Brown, all of these pieces that he's been able to cultivate and kind of collect and grow with and build rapport with. And you bring in a dynamic like this where it's like, this is his best friend. Is it going to mess with his growth? Is it going to make him gravitate toward Aiyuk? I know Aiyuk's a good receiver, but maybe that's not what Adam Peters wants. Maybe Adam Peters just doesn't want Brandon Aiyuk. Maybe Adam Peters kind of knew something about Aiyuk, kind of didn't like the way that he would fit and mesh the drama. I mean, look, Aiyuk has created a lot of drama. Aiyuk's pissed off his own team. I bet his own teammates are just kind of like tired of it. Like, Aiyuk's dragging this thing out. I blame the Niners, but it sounds like Adam Peters didn't want him. And so, again, this report, I don't know if it's true. Commanders, wide receiver Terry McLaurin, or a first-round pick. And I don't think Jahan Dotson was something that they wanted. Okay. I'm sorry if I misspoke on some of those. I was reading a couple super chats too, or a couple super chats and comments. Thank you for my moderators being in here. Appreciate you. Mark Cleveland dropping a $20 hauler. Wash Your Drawers dropping a $20 hauler. Roy dropping a $20 hauler. Coming for your super chats right this second. Let me finish this news piece. We'll do the AR5 thing after I handle these super chats. And then we've got these super chats right here. So Terry McLaurin. Remember when I came out and said Terry McLaurin is better than Brandon Aiyuk right now? And everybody said, Smitty, what are you talking about? Not everybody on this channel. But I remember going on Raj's live stream, I think, and talking with those guys. And they're like, Aiyuk? Terry McLaurin? Look, Terry McLaurin is in his prime. And while Terry McLaurin doesn't have a long time left, he is in a place where you could call him a top 12 wide receiver. You could call him the DJ Moore right now. That DJ Moore was a player that everybody thought had top 10 wide receiver potential, but didn't have the QB play. And look what happened the moment he got Justin Fields. He became wide receiver 7. So Terry McLaurin, back to this report real quick, because sorry I didn't have it all pulled up. McLaurin or first round pick, that isn't going to happen. Like, nobody wants to trade Terry McLaurin for Brandon Aiyuk, but Niner fans thinking Aiyuk is better than McLaurin. The rest of the world knows what's up. The rest of the world knows that Terry McLaurin right now, with the holding out Aiyuk especially, that's very injury prone, is not better than Terry McLaurin. And that's not going to happen. Jahan Dotson, again, as I was trying to say, Jahan Dotson didn't appear to be in the scope of trade ideas for the Niners trying to acquire from the Commanders in an Aiyuk trade. So the Washington Commanders traded him away. All right, let's get over to these super chats, and then I got to talk about AR5, who is in the panic chamber, or is he not? He's in the panic chamber for the majority of everybody out there. But is he in my panic chamber? You know the deal here. We sometimes come in and talk about a player that is in the panic chamber, a panic setting for other people. And then I grab said player and I pull them out and I say, no, not on my watch. Is that what's going to happen? Hang tight. Hang tight. $20 hauler from Roy, dropping wads on screen. Roy, appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Wrong. Muy mal.
Roy, my boy, says draft is tomorrow, 12-man, 0.5 PPR. I have the 4 pick, and it's looking like McCaffrey, Bijan, and Brees will be the first 3 off the board. Roy, don't trust what everybody's telling you. No one at the 3 picks telling you what they're going to do. They're just letting you think they're going to take Breece Hall there, so he might be available. But who do I take? Lamb, feeling like nervous Nancy and scared of Hill. I think Hill's safer than Lamb right now, but as soon as Lamb signs, I think he's back to my number one wide receiver. It's hard to, Chase holding out scares me more than Lamb holding out. Call me a double standard Donnie. But I feel like Lamb's going to avoid the injury bug a little more than Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has been injury prone, before, so I'm a little more scared of that. But I think Tyreek Hill was wearing a removable cast on his hand just to probably make sure everything's good. I don't think it's anything to worry about. When asked about it, Miami Mike McDaniel, of course, because that guy can never be serious. They asked him, "What's with the cast on Tyreek Hill's hand?" He said, "I'm very good at thumb war." We don't know. We don't know what's going on. I don't think it's a big deal. So I'd probably say Tyreek Hill's safer than Lamb right now. But you like lamb chops, bro? I'm all about getting lamb.
Get lambed.
Okay. So appreciate you, Roy, dropping the super chat. Hill's very safe. I don't think the injury concerns me as much as the holdout for Chase and Lamb, though. Salute, Smitty. I'm in a 10-man half PPR. Chat, what do you think? Can we get a vote for Roy? Since Roy dropped a $20 hauler, let's get some group think out here. Okay? Hill, Lamb, or Jamar Chase. And if Hall is there, let's throw Hall in there. Just because I think Hall might be there. I think this guy, number 3, is trying to tell Roy a story. So vote Hall, Lamb, rank them. Don't just give me one. Rank them. Hall, Lamb, and Tyreek Hill. Assuming Bijan and CMC are gone. Or Chase if you want. But give me a ranking, not just listing one name. Salute, Smitty. I'm in a 10-man half PPR 8-pick. Do I go Henry? What? Wash your drawer. You can't take Henry. You're going to wash your season down the drain, wash your drawers. You can't take Derrick Henry in round 1. What are we doing here? No. The answer is an astounding no. No. Do you take Kyron or Garrett Wilson, then Mahomes? I'm taking Kyron and Garrett Wilson together instead of Derrick Henry. So go Garrett Wilson, go Kyron, or go Kyron in round 1 and Achane in round 2, or London or whatever. But don't go Derrick Henry in round 1 at pick number 8, let alone in the second round. I wouldn't even take Derrick Henry. I like Derrick Henry, bro. We got to take Derrick Henry at an acceptable, he can bust territory so you don't lose your season on a Derrick Henry round 1. Derrick Henry might struggle to get 1,000 yards rushing. So I love the plan of attack. Mahomes in 3, smash. Garrett Wilson in 1, smash. Kyron in 2, Achane in 2, smash. But Derrick Henry, absolutely. Now, if Derrick Henry fell to like the bottom of 2 to maybe top of 3, I'm not saying I wouldn't take him, but not in that territory. Mark Cleveland says, draft season, $20 hauler. This is a $20 hauler for both Mark Cleveland and the gentleman that just dropped that super chat. What was his name? Wash your drawers. Appreciate both of you. Here's a $20 celebration. Let's put it together and make it a $50 celebration.
$50. Give me $50 holler.
All right, that one was for both of you together. Appreciate you, Mark, dropping the 20 watt on screen. All right, I got super chats coming in. I got TM42. I got Elgin with super chats. I got them all over here in the corner. $20 haulers get immediate attention, but I do need to get through this AR5 news. So TM42 Elgin. This one's from Giancarlo. This one's from Messiah. And then this one's from, who is this? This is from Giovanna. You guys' super chats are coming. Let me just get over to the panic board and let's talk about AR5 real quickly. So AR5 is kind of a panicked person right now, right? You're hearing about it. Oh my God, he looked awful. Let me just put something out there and clear something. Let's clear the air. This guy's week number 3 preseason game, whatever, 4, was no different than the last game we saw Caleb Williams play. Just in reverse. Caleb played awful. It wasn't just his fault. Shane Waldron dialed up 3 series that were 3 and out. And everybody was panicking on Caleb Williams. And then Caleb throws a very good pass. Some would say unnecessary, jumping in the air and throwing a nice ball to Odunze. And then he scores on a scrambling touchdown where the offense broke down again. Like everything Caleb did was off platform, which he's good at. But this is the NFL. These are backups, mix of backups, 1s and 2s, and this is a preseason game. And he's scrambling off platform, and he runs into the end zone kind of in like slow motion. Looked like no one was trying to tackle anybody. He runs in, and everybody says, "Did you see Caleb and how good Caleb looked?" Oh my God. Ignoring the first 3 drives, ignoring the breakdown of the entire offense the whole game. This guy goes out and goes 6 of 7 with a touchdown. 6 of 7 with a touchdown on drive 1. The inverse of what Caleb did. 6 of 7, drive 1, scores a touchdown. A.D. Mitchell scores a touchdown. A.D. Mitchell to the mother freaking moon. Then things don't look so good. Next drive, drop football, interception where the wide receiver looked like he was cemented into the ground. Couldn't move. AR5, miscommunication, threw a ball. Looked like maybe not. Could have been in the right place, wrong place. The wide receiver didn't do anything. What is his name? Graveson or whatever the hell his name is. Didn't do anything to go back to the football. That interception was not on AR5. Then he had Pittman drop a football. He touched it. He should have caught it. Was it placed a little bit out of whack? Maybe. Another drop football. Was it placed perfectly? No, but it was a one hand on it kind of thing. You touch it, you pull it in. That's what Papa always said. There's nothing to panic on. How many rushing attempts did you see this guy have? What do you have, like 2 yards rushing? They didn't do any of that trickery that they're going to do in the regular season. Shane Steichen is a magician. Shane Steichen created and molded and sculpted Jalen Hurts into the quarterback he is today. Shane Steichen made this man the number 1 overall fantasy football quarterback in 3 full games played. Well, really 2 full games played. 3 games played, 2 full games played. This guy was the number 1. It's a small sample. I'm not a moron. I know that you shouldn't extrapolate 2-3 games across 17 games. That's just dumb math. But it can be done if you want to. Shane Steichen knows what he's doing. And A.D. Mitchell with Pittman is a whole big difference with a healthy JT than we saw last year. And I really think this is a crazy overreaction. And the only thing I could say is that let everybody panic. Let his ADP fall. Get him in the 6th or 7th round from the Panic Peters out there, instead of having to spend a 5-6 round pick on him. Now you're getting him in the same territory we got Jalen Hurts when we called Jalen Hurts one of the biggest monsters, probably one of the best calls this channel has ever made, was Jalen Hurts in round 6-7. And we said he was going to be a top 1 to 3 QB. Not top 3, not top 4, not top 5, top 1 to 3 QB. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts won leagues in round 6 and 7 when he was on our Moon Man list. Year 1 of the Moon Man list.
Mashed potatoes!
And now we're sitting here probably on the verge of seeing AR5 fall to the exact same territory of draft selections, the 6-7 round territory, because Panic Peter is on Twitter right now. Panic Peter Snapchatting everybody. He's telegramming everyone. Everyone's seeing panic everywhere with AR5. And so he is in the panic chamber. Make no mistake about it. I don't always decide who goes in the panic chamber. Sometimes I put a player in here. Sometimes the community, the internet, the negativity puts him in the panic chamber. But this time I did not. This time I'm relishing in it. This time I'm going to say, not on my watch, AR5. You are safe, and the panic chamber does not close on you. Let it close on all who doubt him. So I'm going to put doubters in the panic chamber right now and close the door, because you're going to look like a fool when it comes week 5, 6, 7. Enjoy. You are in the panic chamber.
You are in the panic chamber.
AR5, you're safe.
You are safe.
Now we've got super chats coming in, rolling in. We got $20 haulers. One from my guy McFly, Rye Guy McFly. He gets immediate attention, as does Axe with a $20 hauler. E-Rock over here with a $5 hauler, and Castro with a $1.99. I'm going to throw you guys over there. I'm coming for you. Just hang tight. First, the $20 haulers get immediate attention. It's a biased thing. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And then Jaime says, I want immediate attention as well. Put me on the right side of the board, Smitty. Jaime with a $20 hauler. Axe, he says, Smitty, I have the number 1 pick. Who should I take? If you think you can get Kyren or Achane in round 2, I go Hill or Lamb. If you think the running backs will fly off the board, give me Bijan. That is my final answer for now, at least. And thank you for your $20 hauler, big man. You are the man, the myth, the legend known as Axe.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Axe, you're my guy, pal. Appreciate you. Next $20 hauler is coming from Rye Guy McFly. He says, yes or no, late round 12 man league draft stud running back like Taylor with your second pick, Mahomes or Allen. Second pick, Mahomes or Allen. If it's 6 points per TD, then I think Mahomes or Allen could go that early. If it's 4, then you just wait until round 3 and get the last one of the 3. If not, then you're taking JD5 and AR5 later on. You're taking potentially Jordan Love later on. You're getting a steal. Stroud going in around 5, 6, 7, something like that. Now, if quarterbacks go extremely early, and this is not a super flex according to this, from what I see. Super flex, you go quarterback in round 1. But this is tough. Yes or no on a late round 12-man PPR league draft, a stud running back like Taylor and with your... So I would say Kyren for me. Don't hate Taylor. Okay, Kyren for me. Garrett Wilson, potentially in round number 1, or St. Brown. But I am kind of a Kyren Achane person. But if I go Kyren JT, I'm fine with that too. I think if you can get Dell and Devontae Smith as a wide receiver 1 and 2, if you can get DK and Dell, if you can get Dell and even a potential, especially Cooper Kupp, bro, in round 3, then you're looking pretty good going RB, wide receiver. But there's nothing wrong with starting off with balance, going Garrett Wilson, Kyren, Garrett Wilson, JT. If you like JT, fine. I just let JT fall to your, if you got a late first round pick, let him fall to the top of round 2. Versus taking JT in round 1. That would be my advice. I'd take advantage of the Garrett Wilson situation. I would take personally Kyren at the bottom of round 2 in a non-best ball. Best ball, he goes in round 3. Right Guy McFly, you need to get over to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. For anybody that doesn't know, for any of you that don't know, Kyren Williams, who we snag at the top of or the bottom of round 1 and the top of round 2 in non-best ball. We draft Kyren there all the time. He falls to the top of round 3 in best ball, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. I'm going to pin that link right now for anybody that wants to play Underdog Fantasy. We go live most midnights in draft. We probably will tonight. Tonight is Friday. We usually do that on Fridays and Saturdays. We'll be drafting most likely tonight. You want to hit that link so you can partake in it. But that's going to be my advice for you, Rye. Call in if you want to talk more about it, but that is a good plan of attack in general. Jaime with the $20 hauler. Appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Jaime, appreciate you, my guy. Smitty, I draft this Sunday, 10 p.m. or 10-man PPR, pick 9. I'm a true believer in BPA, best player available. Of course you are. But if things go as I suspect, I'm likely taking Gibbs 9 and Kyren 11. Say a prayer for me and slam that thumbs up button, everybody. Thank you, Jaime. Jaime, get Kupp, get Tank Dell, grab the wide receivers late. Rashee Rice, Worthy, love him. Mahomes, Rashee Rice, worthy. Love it. Love stacking the hell out of it. I'm not even a big non-best ball stacking man, but I'll stack the KC Chief team because they're scoring 40, 45 touchdowns this year through the air.
It's Chiefs season. Mahomes is scoring 45 plus touchdowns. Let them cook.
Let him cook.
Chiefs season, they're coming to cook. Draft him. Let him dominate. Let him start. Let him fight for a starting job on your squad. Rashee Rice worthy. Let him cook, pal. Appreciate you, Jaime. Go crush, bro. Go crush your draft. Elgin with a $2 hauler. Smitty pick 2. Saquon, Henry, Pacheco. Why are my alerts not happening again? Hold on. Jeez. Okay, the alert should be fixed. I don't know. Someone can test it out. But Elgin, pick 2. Saquon, Henry, Pacheco. Why is Henry... yeah, I don't know. Henry shouldn't be in there with Saquon, in my opinion. I think Pacheco and Henry are closer in ADP, so this is a question between Henry and Pacheco. I'm going Pacheco. I'm not going with the 87-year-old running back that has a bottom 10 offensive line in Baltimore. Better than Tennessee had last year. But, good God. I just can't see it. Pacheco's going to get 10, 12 touchdowns. Did I tell you about the KC Chiefs yet, bro?
It's Chiefs season. Mahomes is scoring 45 plus touchdowns. Let them cook.
That's Pacheco right there. He's in this mix, bro. He's getting 10, 12 total touchdowns pretty easily. Pacheco could have like 3 or 4 multiple touchdown games. He really could. Saquon could lead the league in rushing, so I'm not going to take Henry. Take him if you want. Castro, should I drop Wicks for 80 Mitchell? They're both pretty damn good, bro. They're both in the exact same bucket of player. I don't know that I can really give you an answer. I would probably say I'm mixing that up. I'm trying to get both of them. But to tell you to drop one for the other is pretty tough. I'd say give me 80 Mitchell because he feels like he's a little bit more cemented in. But Wicks, if he gets in there, is going to go crazy. Do you prefer Dobbs or Wicks late? I probably say Dobbs has the targets right now, but something tells me Wicks in my gut, bro. Something tells me Wicks, but it seems like Dobbs is the number one. But I don't know that I feel that. This has happened before in the preseason, if you remember. Dobbs has gotten hyped, and then he never delivered. I'm not saying he won't this year. I like Dobbs, but I like Wicks a little bit more, especially at cost of entry if it's like a round difference. But you could almost grab both of them pretty easily in like near double-digit rounds. Giancarlo with the $10 holler. $10 hollers get moon shots.
To the moon.
Giancarlo, appreciate you, my guy. Carlos says, hey, Smitty, one player keeper league question on position 3. Do I keep Tank Dell in the 12th round or London in the 4th round? With the one keeper, that means your round 4 is round 5, essentially. And that's still McBride. That's still Kincaid. That's still Worthy or really Rashee Rice. That's still an AR5. That's still a Stroud. So you give me Stroud and Tank Dell over just London every time. You got to look at it that way. And as much as we love the London value, Tank Dell's better because it gives you Stroud as well. I would not trade. Would you trade Stroud and Dell for just London? If the answer is no, pal, then you should hit no on that and do what I'm saying. But thank you for the super chat. Messiah, $5 hauler. Quick question on my draft. 12 people, half PPR. First pick, CMC. Second, Evans. Third, Debo. Fourth, Walker. Kincaid, Purdy. Kirk, Smitty approved. I like it. Evans in round 2 is a little rich for me. I know he's been doing it, but he's also getting older, and at some point I'm worried. But honestly, it's not a bad move. I mean, you got great value in Walker. Kincaid's fantastic. You know, Purdy, I'm indifferent on. I don't think he's going to be bad. I don't think he's going to be top 5, though. But I like the team a lot. Christian Kirk, I'm a little lukewarm on because I just don't know where he fits in this year. He usually is pretty steady Eddie. So it's a really good team. I would say like a 7.5 to near 7.8 type of score, which, you know, getting an 8 is fantastic for me. So what I'm trying to tell you is your one waiver wire move, or maybe somebody surprises me like Kirk away from being that, 8.0 type out of 10. Giovanna, $10 hauler. Just hit that waiver wire, my guy. Stay on top of the waiver wire. Explore some great trades, etc. And you should be in the mix, my man. Devo with the $5 hauler. I'm keeping up with these super chats a lot better this year than I did last year. I'm trying to hit him, right away. Smitty, it's Bay Area Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate you. The method for this year is the 0 wide receiver method, running back, and then QB, and then tight end in the 4th round, not taking wide receivers until the 5th. Well, I mean, that's essentially the tripod, and then you extend it with the Kincaider, So yeah, definitely a strategy that you see me deploy a lot. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for somebody that doesn't trust in the wide receivers. And when I did the wide receiver video, this was this video right here. Let me see if I can put these guys back on the board. But I did this video. Actually, I think this video I haven't even put up yet. This is coming. So if you guys want to know, this video is coming. This video, I haven't even posted it yet. But it's all edited and ready to go. It's a late wide receiver smash video. Okay, so we're going to talk about this on a video. But these guys specifically, Worthy, Rice, Dell, and Ridley, you're not going to get Dell in the strategy you're talking about very easily, very often. Sometimes Dell falls to 5. I've heard people say Dell's in round 7 on Yahoo or something, so you never know. But you're probably looking at Worthy, Rice, Ridley, guys like that. If you go running back, Mahomes, tight end, then you can get Worthy, Rice, and Ridley. You're gonna smash. Look for that video to come. It's coming up. But it's definitely not for the faint of heart. If you're an anxious Angus, you don't want to deploy that, but I deploy it all the time, and I love it. I think this is the year to do it. BT, Ridley, Worthy, Rice, so many wide receivers that could carry you that people think, oh, you have a weak wide receiver room. Well, watch me. Watch me shine. Watch me stack all my other positions and watch me shine. This is what's so funny about people that have a mentality of last year. People tell me this. People tell me that. Smitty, you can't win if you do this. Smitty, you can't win if you do that. Watch me. And this is why I have this on the board. If you get Dell in round 5, let's say, and you go early Kelsey. So this is what we talked about the other day. That's why I got on the board like this. You go Bijan, Kyron, Mahomes, Kelsey, and don't take a single wide receiver till round 5. You get Dell, Rice, Worthy, Coleman. That combination of wide receivers later, you show me this, I quit my job and I come work for you. That's what I'm doing.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
It's a way to win. It's a way to dominate. Hey, Smitty, keep to Olave, London, Waddle. Give me, this is London for sure. It's really between Olave and Waddle. Olave. I was trying to say Olave. I'm taking probably Olave. And he's got a higher, well, I don't know if he has a higher ADP actually. Waddle's all over the map. I'd take Olave. He's the number 1. Waddle's sharing it. I don't know. It's better offense though. There's an argument to be made. It's not fantasy football. It's fantasy football, not real football. We're drafting AR5 for 10 rushing touchdowns, not 4,500 yards passing. Buy low, stay the course, says E-Rock. I also think he gets a bad rap, though, for not being capable of being a good quarterback. I'm not saying I disagree with what you're saying. It is NFL versus fantasy. And I did say yesterday on this show that, on the late show, that the only player that, because usually fantasy, like someone says, oh, Hurts is a great fantasy guy, but not a good quarterback. That's the biggest cap I've ever heard. It's ridiculous. It's an almost borderline embarrassing statement to make that, oh, Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback. He's just a good fantasy quarterback. He's a top 5 NFL quarterback. You heard me right. Jalen Hurts is a top 5 NFL quarterback. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass yourself saying something different. Don't do it. It's just embarrassing. It makes me embarrassed. You know when someone says something or does something so embarrassing, it embarrasses you, and you're not even a part of it? I'm embarrassed when someone says Hurts is in the top 5 QB. The thing about AR5 is it does feel like the one player that I can think of the most that it's not parallel. The fantasy and the NFL is not as parallel as you want it to be. But to act like, and I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying if anybody out there is acting like he can't get there, he's played 2 full games in the NFL. And people are judging him already about how good of an NFL quarterback he can be. The guy's played 2 full games. He played 3 essentially near full games, and that's it. And people are judging him. And he was the number 1 overall fantasy football scorer if you extrapolate that. Not saying it's smart math. I'm just saying, like, let's let the kid go out there and prove he can also be a good NFL quarterback, especially under Shane Steichen. $10 hauler from my boy Martin.
To the moon.
Martin, my mang. Messed up in trade. Oh, you messed up already? Messed up and traded Chase for JD5 Brooks Neighbors. If this isn't redraft, I don't want to say like you really messed up hard because Neighbors is a good receiver. If it's in Dynasty, you're fine. It's great in Dynasty. But if it's a redraft, yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. Like, if Chase were to hold out, then it's not really messing up. But, like, did you maybe jump the gun? Team is AR5, JD5. You didn't need JD5, but this is a 1 QB. That's where you may have messed up. I'm not saying I don't like having both, but Achane, Connor, Neighbors, Debo, Kincaid, Rice, Mostert, Benson, Wright. Yeah, I mean, tough, bro. Tough. I don't know that I could say that, like, you made it better in redraft. If it's Dynasty, I love it. But doesn't mean you can't still win. Doesn't mean you won't have trade power with one of those QBs later. Be patient trading one of them. Don't trade them now thinking you have to fix this now. Let one of them smash. Let both of them smash before you end up, screwing it up and making things worse. Again, Iosivas, guys. Iosivas is an absolute sleeping giant to a degree. This guy is you got to search for him, but his name is spelled not an L, it's an I. That's a capital I. Think about it. It confuses a lot of people. Capital L's go like this. This is a capital I. And Iosivas, it makes people think L. I don't know. So go look him up. See if he's available. Definitely in Dynasty. Make sure you're grabbing him. Iosivas to the moon, potentially. So phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Your boy's here to assist you. Let's win some championships this year, shall we? Let me clear the Wilson off the board and put right here topic. I'm trying to keep the topic always on screen so you guys know what the hell I'm talking about when you're, speeding through, fast forwarding through the show. How do we feel about Jacobs? We love Jacobs, Mario. We love Jacobs. Jacobs is a top 6 to 10 running back, and he's getting all the work. 3rd down work, 1st down work, 2nd down work, 4th and goal. He's getting it all. Jacobs is going to feast, bro. And the doubt around Jacobs seems a little similar to the doubt around AR5. Like, it's a similar type of doubter. Typecast these people. Someone that hates Achane hates Kyren. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with you guys. Yeah, I'm a Kyren hater. I'm an Achane hater. I don't know what it is. I don't know. You're a type. You got a type, and guys that hate Jacobs probably hate AR5. It's weird. John, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, thanks for taking the phone call. Now that the ADPs have adjusted and redraft, mainly for redraft, what's the best draft slot to go on? Because Kyron's kind of moving up. You can't really get him if you're in the 1 spot. So based on what you've seen, if you had any choice to pick 1 through 12, where would you want to be picking for 2024 in redraft this year?
1.1's always my preference. But I can't say that you're wrong. When I'm on the clock and I'm like at 1.1, I'm so mad that I don't have the chance to get certain players. I think it kind of depends. If I'm drafting with a bunch of grandmas, bro, I'll take that 11 or 12 and then grab Kyren Achane, Kyren Barkley, Kyren Garrett Wilson, and I usually want to own Kyren or Achane in almost any draft. I mean, think about it. Let me show you the supernovas. My Moonmen, Marsmen, Saturnmen lists are they're spread wide. But because people get confused and say, Smitty, you got too many guys, I narrowed it down. And there are 5 special players across. It doesn't matter what list they're on. I pick my very 5 favorite. Must have Marsmen, Moonmen, Saturnmen, and they're called supernovas. They're special. Supernovas are rare. They shine bright. They explode.
There are Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 5 can become supernovas.
Hold on,
I give you
John.
the 5 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 5 supernovas.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Shuttle's cleared the tower, John. So I guess my answer to you would be this. Give me as many supernovas as I can get, and that seems like a 10, 11, 12 pick would get it for you because you can get Kyren and Achan, and that might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's mine, John. And then I'm likely getting Mahomes if I can. If you can't, you can't. The one thing I will say is if you have like a middle of the first round and you get Bijan, like 5 or 6, and then you get Kyren or Achan, and then you get Mahomes, that's probably one of my favorite approaches as well. So I would say like I either like 5 or 6 with Bijan if he falls. If he doesn't, then I'm pissed off. But then again, maybe you get Tyree. I don't know. It's so tough to know. So I'd say 5 or maybe 11 or 12 if I'm not going 1. But they're all good. I could sit here and play devil's advocate to every draft slot. They're pretty good this year. You know why? Because it's deeper than it's ever been across every position.
If you're not in a grandma league and you take the 1.1, would you still reach for Allen or Mahomes at the third? Take the return.
6
You
point
go
per,
Lamb, A-Chain, Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen.
6
the
point
1.1.
6 point per TD.
Correct. Non-grandma league.
Honestly, bro, if I'm going 1 overall in a grandma or non-grandma league, and I don't think I'm getting, Josh Allen or Mahomes is great. I love Mahomes this year, but like I love the cost of entry on Mahomes because Josh Allen usually goes in like the late 2 to the 3rd, whereas Mahomes is going like 3rd to 4th. But let's just say we put Mahomes in there. You take Mahomes, probably my favorite player here to reach on. And we're saying that you're playing with some people that have pretty sharp tendencies and they're doing pretty well and you don't have any slippage. Nobody's falling that shouldn't have fallen. And you're sitting there at this 3.1 pick. You took Mahomes. You're sitting there at 3.1. Here's probably my favorite player to reach on just a little bit. And I go Cooper Kupp. And that way you're starting your draft from the 1 pick with absolute utter balance. You've got Mahomes or Josh Allen. You've got Cooper Kupp, you've got Bijan, and you're crushing your league from the jump.
Appreciate it a lot. Have a great night.
All right, later, John. I mean, I love that. I love that. 2 super chats flowing in. Jonathan says, pick 2, A.J. Brown, Puka, Garrett Wilson, Gibbs, Kyren, Pacheco. Give me Kyren. Kyren, I mean, you can't go wrong, Jonathan. I'd probably say if I can get wide receivers like Kupp and Tank Dell, with this, I'm going Kyren and Gibbs. If not, Garrett Wilson or A.J. Brown, one of those two, even over Puka, with Kyren. But there's no like right or wrong answer there. There's 100,000 ways to win. Like I could win with any one of those. In fact, I vary my decision up based on best ball, building and saying I'm going to take, this exact same thing here, but go Garrett Wilson. Then I'm going to do it again and I'm going to take Puka Nacua one time. But that's how I do it. Got to fix the Iosivas name on your screen. Oh, yeah. It changed it to an L. It is Iosivas with an I. See, it even... I think it corrected it. There you go. It's not an L. It's an I. Even my autocorrect fixed it. Thank you, Superfish. Appreciate you. It's a very confusing name to type in for people. I mean, it really is, even for the system. It just doesn't like it. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Phone lines are open. Numbers right here. Chuck, you're live, Chuck. What can I do for you, Chuck? What do you hear? Hello? Chuck? Chuck? I don't know what's up with Chuck. Chuck, unmute yourself. He muted himself when he's dialing in. He's so good at muting himself. He knows what Smitty likes. He muted himself as he dialed in. He had no idea he was on mute when it was dialing. That's some impressive stuff, Chuck. All right. Justin, you are live. Justin, what can I do for you? Justin, what do you hear?
Hey, I know you, I think you got a question that was like Chris Olave or Jalen Waddle. I kind of fall on the Jalen Waddle side of that because we're in best ball, and I just think there's way more upside to Waddle.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Because we're in best ball. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? What do you mean we're in best ball? Not everybody plays best ball all the time, bro. Like, this channel was founded on non-best ball. The majority of what I tell people is like during the season, especially, is verging on their regular buddy leagues. What kind of statement is that? We're in best ball. Like, you just discrediting everybody else that's watching? We're not best ball. We're everything.
Okay,
we do everything equally here.
You're right. You're 100% right.
I just don't know what that comment is.
Let me put it this way. Chris Olave might be more consistent. Jalen Waddle is much more explosive, in my opinion, with the outcome.
It's splitting hairs, Justin. It's splitting hairs, bro. They're both, like I said when I answered the question.
Let me say my case.
All right, go ahead.
So, the year before last year, I believe Jalen Waddle had like 1,300 yards, 8 TDs. Something Chris Olave hasn't done, to be honest. In recent years, Tua Tagovailoa, when he's been on the field and healthy, which I want to point out that Derek Carr has not always been healthy as well, because people are going to be like, oh, Tua Tagovailoa, what if he gets hurt? Derek Carr hasn't necessarily been the healthiest guy. We don't necessarily know if Derek Carr is going to be their quarterback.
Justin, I don't mean to stop. I don't mean to stop you. We're going to put everybody to sleep. We know all this. This is really obvious stuff. Like, just tell me you like Waddle. That's all we need to. I appreciate you, but we don't need you to map out that Derek Carr's on the struggle bus. He's not the greatest quarterback. Like, I get all that. I just want, like, give me your take. That's fine.
I'd also just think the entire Saints offense, like, half of them are already banged up, which helps Olave, but the general trajectory of the offense isn't going in a good direction.
Okay.
Like, the offensive line isn't that good over there.
Gotcha. I appreciate you, Justin. I'm not mad at you. I'm trying to keep the show moving. So you like Waddle, and I don't blame you. I was teeter-tottering. I don't know if you noticed my I noticed. I noticed. I just wanted to give my case. I know, but it's long-winded. But you got to have you tighten up your you usually call in and you remind me of my mom a lot, bro. You're like, let me tell you,
you need to lay out all the reasons.
Let me tell you,
thinking of all the reasons.
Let me tell you a story. Don't get mad. Like, you're the kind of person that you try and tell someone how not to react, but you're literally setting them up to get mad. You're like, don't get mad. What I'm about to tell you would make you mad, but I'm going to tell you not to get mad. Let me tell you a story before I tell you the story. Remind me of my mom, bro.
So part of that is people might know all the various factors of a player, but they're not cognizantly thinking of them all at once.
I know. That's why I have a 3-hour show almost every day. But Justin, real quickly, let me ask you some questions. Let me interview you. Let me take my mic back.
Yeah.
Olave is the number one wide receiver on his team, yes or no?
100%.
Okay, so there's advantages of that. Then there's the disadvantages of this offense is not as good. So it's a give and a take. Now, Waddle is the number 2 on his team, yes or no? Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
So it's like it's even. It's splitting hairs. Do you want a guy on a more explosive offense, but they do go run heavy a lot, and Waddle has had some concerns about, can he stay healthy? Can he put it all together? Can he? And I get it. Like, Tyreek Hill's getting older. There's definitely a world where Hill goes down and then Waddle explodes or something, for a certain portion of time. But I would say that at the end of the day, we're hoping Rattler comes in and becomes this hero. And I think that that's also a component that makes me lean a little bit toward Olave. I like Waddle a lot. I do. I think he's way overdrafted. I think Olave's a little overdrafted. I almost don't want either one of them, to be honest with you, at their cost of entry, because it seems to be in the second round, maybe top of round 3 territory. And as much as Cooper Kupp's an injury risk, being even 31 years old, I want Cooper Kupp over both of them. How do you feel about that?
A question I would pose in regards to the Saints offense is, how much does Alvin Kamara potentially hurt Chris Olave? Because it seemed like they targeted him a lot when the offensive line had problems last year, and I think the offensive line is going to continue to have problems.
Well,
I know that Chris Olave is still going to get his to a degree, but go ahead.
Everybody's got competition on the team, though. I think it comes down to, can Carr stay healthy? If he can't, will they put in Rattler, and will Rattler deliver? And I kind of feel like Rattler may deliver. I kind of have that feeling. Big T got a membership. Big T purchased the fantasyfootballshow.com membership, I believe is what he's saying. You can do that as well. Go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. I'll put the link in the description. All right, hang tight, bro. Okay, hang tight for me. I'm going to put you on hold, but Justin, you can stay on the phone. Chuck, you're live. Chuck, are you ready?
I am ready, yes, sir.
Okay, what can I do for you, Chuck?
All right, I got a couple of questions. So I'm in a dynasty league. Drafts on Sunday. Basically, it's 15 people on a roster. We keep 10 every year. I've got 9 of the people guaranteed definite that I want to keep, and I'm down to my last 4. And first question is, I just want your opinion on which one I should keep and which 3 I should let go.
Okay.
If you want, I could rattle off the whole
just
team.
Just get
as
quick, bro. Just as quick as you can. Who are the players, and I'll give you my answer. We gotta speed through some of this.
Understood. So the 4 that I'm on the fence about would be Jameson Williams, Javonte Williams, Keenan Allen, and Deontay Johnson. Got to keep one of them.
If I'm keeping one, I'm going to say Jameson Williams. I think he's going to have a big year. I'm not a big Deontay Johnson guy. The Deontay Johnson hype is out of control. I don't know where it's really coming from, to be honest with you. It's wild. I know it's coming from Canales. He came out and said, and this is great because it's going to rise up Deontay and bump somebody down. But they asked him about the offense, and Canales goes, well, you got to think of a playmaker. You got to have somebody that's going to be your big-time playmaker to some degree. I'm not word for word on it. And he goes, and then I ask, where's Deontay Johnson? And everyone's like, oh! So now Deontay's climbing boards, and it's like, does anybody know he has stone hands? I mean, I like Deontay a little bit, maybe. Maybe, but like where he's going, no thank you. Keenan Allen was being talked down tremendously across the entire industry. We talked him down first. He's on the Planet Uranus list. But then, like last week, it was like he's 230 pounds. He looks really slow. He's listed at 210, 211, 212. And he's 230 pounds. A lot of people said, looks slow, sluggish. And he did. There's video footage of him looking slow. Then he comes out into practice and kind of has a nice little practice sesh. Looks really good. And now everybody's kind of jumping back on. I don't buy it. I think at his age, he's getting hurt. He's 32 years old. The odds of a 31-year-old player playing at an elite top 10 level was 10, 11, 12%. And he did it last year. So hats off to him. Kudos to Keenan Allen. But to do it again at 32, changing offenses in a crowded room with the rookie quarterback, with Shane Waldron as his guy, the guy that specializes in 12 personnel, a guy that's going to literally roll 2 wide receiver sets out more often than anybody thinks. And if they do that, who's the odd man out? Is it Odunze, their future? Is it DJ Moore, who they just gave a fat contract to? Who's the guy that's likely going to be out of place here and there? It's going to be Keenan Allen. Javonte, I'm rooting for him. Team Javonte, but am I going to keep him? J-Mo, coming back from the torn ACL, wasn't ready. It's taken him longer than we ever wanted or expected, but he looks really electric right now. I love J-Mo. J-Mo, easy call. Easy call.
Does non-PPR change your opinion at all?
No, because the only one here is that would apply to would be the Javonte pick, and it's still, we can't trust that it's going to be a committee no matter what. But we need him to be atop the committee, and we don't know if he will be. So I'm going to say no.
I would lean in Javonte. Yeah, I would lean in Javonte just because I've got Bijan, I've got Pacheco, and I've got Etienne as my three running backs.
Yeah, but
those are the only three that I've got.
You might be able to trade.
So I kind of wanted a fourth.
You might be able to trade J-Mo for a lot more later, bro.
Possibly. Then my second question is, I'm currently sitting at the 1.3, and it's essentially a rookie draft. Now, I assume that Harrison and Neighbors are going to go 1 and 2. With my team here, what would you suggest maybe I should look at the 1-3?
I can tell you're a position of need person. You got to get around that. You got to kick that loose. You got to take the best player available, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to draft a QB when you don't need a QB. I'm not saying draft but you can't worry so much about, like, you can make trades and such. Like, if Neighbors fell, I don't want you to be like, oh my God, I gotta consider that I need a running back, so I'm just gonna take a running back. You can't do that. 1.3, it's a 1 QB.
It's a 1 QB league, and I got Stroud, so I'm straight with QB.
I just want to make sure. Okay, so you're probably gonna look at MHJ and Neighbors going, I imagine. I'll be honest, man. It would be. It would be hard
between Adunze and Bowers, to be honest with you.
It would be hard not to take. It'd be hard not to take.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It'd be hard not to take Adunze. I love Keon Coleman. Part of me would want to trade down and get Benson and Coleman. I don't know if anybody in your league has like the 5 and 6 or something like that. I'd be very tempted to grab Coleman and Benson if you could get your hands on 2 players to solve your problem. But Adunze is going to be really hard to pass over, bro. Really hard to pass over at 1.3. Bowers is fantastic. Who's your tight end?
My tight end's Hawkinson, so I'm going to need a tight end to fill in for at least a little while. So I was kind of leaning towards Bowers, but I agree. It's hard to pass up Adunze.
Yeah, you got to think about your trade value. You can't, but try and trade down. Try and get like a 5 and a 6. Try and get try and do something. Even if you traded down to 5 to get Coleman or to get Bowers, maybe you can move something else or get something. I don't know. But make sure you don't pass on Neighbors if he falls or anything like that. All right.
Yeah,
call back if you got another one, Chuck. All right, later, bro. Let me go. Farb, you're up.
What up, man? Who are you looking to target, like mid to late second, if like Tyron and Achane aren't there?
Second round.
Like you going quarterback, like an early quarterback? Like if Tyron and Achane don't fall, what's the pivot move there?
Well, I mean, MHJ is MHJ there. What wide receivers there? London, Debo. Running backs are Barkley, Kyron, Achane. And then I can't imagine you don't have an option of one of those. And then if you're at the bottom of round 2, then as I mentioned earlier, I think this strategy absolutely crushes, where you get maybe Josh Allen and Cooper Kupp, and then you have Bijan at the top, or something like that. But I find it hard to believe that you're going to have Debo, London, MHJ, Barkley, Achane, and Kyron all gone by like the mid-second round. And like I said, you get to the late, then I do this strategy potentially.
No doubt. You like Kupp over Neighbors and DK?
I do. Right now I do. I think there's arguments to be made, but Neighbors is a talent. Absolute talent, but Danny Dimes is trash. And DK Metcalf, I love him, but he does have Geno Smith throwing to him, and Cooper Kupp's in one of the most high-octane offenses in the National Football League. So when you get close, I always lean toward offense. How explosive is the offense when you get close? unless you have, like we were talking about earlier, where we were talking Olave Waddle, it's easy to lean toward Waddle because of the explosive offense, but one does have a different advantage, which is one is a number one is a number two, and so it pulls it back in another direction. But very, very arguable, as I mentioned earlier. Like, I could go either way on the Waddle-Olave conversation, which is why when I was first asked, I went, ah! All right, Farb, go tear it up. Call back if you got another one. All right, let me go back to Justin real quick. Justin, you got another question before I boot you off? I want to give you another chance to ask a question or have another conversation versus splitting hairs on something.
No, good to go. I appreciate this, Smitty. Have a great night.
Justin, to the moon. Justin, let me ask you one more question. Oh, he's gone. Ant Carter, what's up, Ant Carter? You're live.
Smitty, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
I got a question for you. So, I'm in an 8-team keeper league, and I need 3 keepers. Right now, I'm definitely locked. I'm getting Garrett Wilson in the 7th, and I'm getting Devon Achane in the 9th. Now, I'm torn between, I can get JD5 in the 12th as a keeper, but I got a bunch of other studs that I can get, and I was wondering who I should get. So JD5 in the 12th, and then I got Kamara would be a 10th. I can get Gibbs in the 3rd, and then I have Tank Dell would be an 8th keeper.
Okay, so you got Dell in the 8th round. You've got JD5 in the what?
In the 12th round.
Okay.
And they elevate 2 rounds each year. My only concern is JD5 would pretty much be a steal, but since it's only 8 teams, I feel like I can get another quarterback.
Well, bro, if it's not super flex, you're not keeping a quarterback with. Yeah, don't do that because you could just draft him back. Like, not a big deal. If it's super flex, it's different.
No, it's not super flex.
Okay. So we're here looking at Gibbs in round 3. It's a how many keeper league?
It's a 3-team. So I'm already keeping Wilson and Achane. Those are locked because Wilson is in the 7th round.
Yeah.
And then I'll have Achane in the 9th round.
Yeah. Okay. So 2-man keeper. That means that the 3rd round is really the 5th round. Essentially. Okay. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like when you're drafting this, like if you were to throw Gibbs back, your 3rd round pick would really feel like a 5th round pick. Dell in the 8th is fantastic, bro. I guess I'd ask you this question. In the 3rd round, based on the keepers, can you give me like 4 or 5 names of guys that are likely available to you at this Gibbs keeper selection? So 3rd round, throw some names at me that you would get instead of Gibbs if you threw Gibbs back.
In the 3rd round,
Talon.
I'm also picking at like the end of the 3rd as well.
Yeah. So this is like the end of round 5. So give me some names that you expect to be there in your draft with your keepers, with your knowledge of your league. It's 8-man. So, 8.
Yeah, so it'll probably be like Kamara, Diggs, Devontae, Smith, DJ Moore, Waddle, Cup.
I'm going to go Gibbs. Give me Gibbs. Give me Kyron. Are you Achane and who was the other one?
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Yeah, take that to the bank. Dell's going to fall so you'll be able to grab him and you'll be able to get him back. Gibbs would be probably off the board very quickly. So you can draft Dell back with ease. You can get Stroud. You'll be fine, bro. Stroud and Dell, you'll get something. Maybe a Mahomes or Allen or Hurts or somebody will fall AR5. But I love the fact that you're going to be able to draft Dell back pretty easily. You would not draft Gibbs back. The names you listed are nothing to say, oh, well, Dell's better because I can get Dell in that player. I'd rather have Gibbs. In a later player like Keon Coleman or Worthy or Rashee Rice than have Dell in a Kamara, Dell and something like that. So smash that, bro. You got it. Go take it to the bank.
Also, I also have Rashee Rice. I forgot to mention him. if I kept Rice, he would be
No,
I think, an 8th
no,
round pick.
no. You can draft him back very easily, bro. Make him a person you contemplate keeping next year or something like that. But he'll probably have a suspension next year. So, all right, bro. Appreciate you. Later.
I appreciate it.
All right. That was Ant Carter. Appreciate Ant Carter. Justin, my question for you was, I was going to ask you real quickly before you left. What do you think of AR5's situation? Ziggy, show me the front door.
Sorry, I didn't find a good device named door.
The number one quarterback overall in the season, and like, I think that regardless of like people's run style of play, if they could be the number one drafted quarterback, I don't care what percentage people draft him, they need to draft him.
Someone is at the front door.
I'm sorry, I had to grab that. What was the last part that you said?
No, I was just saying that I think if a guy has the potential to be the number one overall quarterback in fantasy, like, people need to draft him.
Yeah.
Like, if you believe a
guy
can be that.
I just want to see if you felt like the panic or whatever. I had to run and unlock I bolted the front door so Miss Smitty couldn't get in, so I had to run and open through the house. All right. Hey,
this
thanks
might
for...
be a spicy take, but I honestly think that, like, in some ways, AR5 has an even higher ceiling than Lamar.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. I think he could be the number one overall quarterback. But I think it's great that he's falling. It's fantastic that his ADP is falling. Now you can get him in 6 and 7. It's a smash.
Here's what I found.
All right, we'll see you later, pal. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Bob.
All right, Christian from New Jersey, you're live.
Yeah, Smitty, it's Christian. I got a question about my second running back. I called last week. I had a 12-man full PPR with two flex draft. I did pretty well. My second running back is Chase Brown. I was wondering if I should hold pat or try to make a trade. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Chase Brown. I love Chase Brown, but yeah, I mean, it depends, bro. You know, the problem with, something like this is like you're going to create one hole by trying to fill another hole potentially, but do you have like an overloaded wide receiver room?
I just want to read you my roster.
All right.
Just maybe.
Okay.
I got Lamb, ETN, London, Waddle, Metcalf, Kincaid, AR5, Keon Coleman, Chase Brown, Benson, Corum, Wright, and Caleb Williams.
Okay. List your receivers off one more time.
Lamb, London, Waddle, Metcalf, and Keon Coleman.
Okay, so you got tons of wide receivers. I would trade Waddle. I would try and trade Waddle. I would try and potentially trade Waddle and something to get a doubted Kyron Achane. Trying to think of Jacobs would be fantastic as well. I think Jacobs and Waddle would be a pretty good swap straight up anyway.
Sounds good.
Yeah, or I mean, you could look to trade DK as well if DK gets you more. I'd almost say like DK or Waddle, whichever one lands you an RB. But I would definitely look at select RBs: Jacobs, Kyron, Achane, Barkley. You might have to give up more for some of those guys, but I think Achane's pretty easy to get in some cases. In some cases, he's not. Tough to say.
He went early in the second round.
Yeah, so you might have to give up a little more to do that. What are your RBs again? You got Chase Brown, ETN, and who?
ETN's my number one, and then Chase Brown. I just went receiver because the running backs first two rounds they were gone. By the time I picked I was the fourth pick. By the time the best back was ETN, and then I just waited because the receivers and I got Kincaid in the 6th round and 7th round, Kincaid.
Yeah.
I got him. So I just gobbled up, and I figured I'll roll with Chase Brown.
I mean, I like him. I like him a lot. Like, I think if you draft Chase Brown as your number 2 running back, though, you have to get Zach Moss. And if you do that, then you can kind of roll with it. But you have to have Zach Moss if you're going to do that.
Yeah, he went before Chase Brown. Moss.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. You might have to ride it out for a week, but I would definitely entertain trying to go get an RB. Other RBs that come to mind that I would maybe potentially try and go get in regards to a wide receiver running back swap. And I don't know, maybe somebody has a lot of RBs. It sounds like an RB hungry league though. So you got
standard and switched.
But you got to know, you got to know your league though. You can't let everybody scoop up all the RBs if that's the way it is. But I would say like Pacheco, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker. You could go, Kamara if you were to get something back, because I think that Kamara is ranked lower than Waddle and DK, so I wouldn't do that. But try and get one of those higher name guys that I read off. Pacheco would be great, but he might have went in the second round.
He was gone by the time I drafted.
Jacobs might be the cheapest guy.
I'll try to grab him.
All right, man. Call back if you got another one.
All right, brother. Thanks. I will. All right.
Aurora, and then I'm going to get to these super chats. Aurora, you're live. Castro with a $20.
Hey,
I'm sorry,
Smitty.
Castro. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Smitty. So I super chatted about this last week, but I've had a change of heart. So let me just explain my keeper situation.
As fast as you can, bro. It's hard. People hate people hate backstories, and it's not just about you and me. It's about the whole everybody watching. Go ahead.
No, I got you. So it's a 2-keeper league and a 2-flex league, and basically my choices are Hurts, second rounder, Drake London 6th, Anthony Richard 10th, and Rashee Rice last. And you told me keep Anthony for a 10th and Drake London for a 6th. But at this point, there's Allen, Lamar, and CJ. They're kept from other teams. And I think in a 2-flex league, I was going to keep Richardson. And I got to admit, the preseason game kind of scared me off. And I think Rice is the best value with London. Wouldn't you say so? Because I know you can potentially, get him later, but like as a last rounder, I just don't know how you can beat that value.
I mean, who would your quarterback be, and how early would you have to take this quarterback? Because it's all relative, bro. If you end up not keeping AR5, who is potentially a league winner, and rewatch the AR5 section of this show if you missed it, but I'm not worried. He was 6 of 7 with a touchdown. And they didn't run him at all. They didn't want to show off any of their running schemes or design plays or anything like that. This guy could have run for 15 touchdowns this year. And so I understand where you're at. You're a little worried about it, but the cost of entry on AR5 was great for you. Rashee Rice, you could draft him back. You probably can't draft AR5 back. And if, let's say you keep Rashee Rice, who I love, and then all of a sudden you're going to be forcing yourself to take a quarterback. You just said everybody's keeping Stroud and all these guys. You're going to force yourself to draft a quarterback when other players are on the board that are just as good as Rashee Rice. It's going to be relative. But I think it sounds like you're panicking on the preseason game. It sounds like you're panicking on the preseason game, but you shouldn't be. He was 6 or 7 with a touchdown. He had the inverse game that Caleb had. Everyone thinks Caleb is the next Patrick Mahomes because he struggled, then had a good play. And I was like, did you see what Caleb did? And everyone comes into my live stream like, Smitty's still down on Caleb after that amazing game where he ran the ball into the end zone when his offense broke down for a 5th straight time. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, point taken.
In AR5, that interception was not his fault. And 2 or 3 other balls were dropped. I don't understand the AR5 fear. AR5 is a potential league winner. I love Rashee Rice. You know I do. And I love to draft him back, but that is not a big gun that's going to necessarily win your league. He's fantastic. And you can get him back and you can add him to the arsenal. No doubt about it. But you just told me everyone's keeping their quarterbacks. What quarterbacks are... You might end up taking AR5 back. Like, you keep Rashee Rice, you draft AR5 back, but you're going to be forcing that.
My thought on that was because it's Allen, Lamar, and CJ, so it's really, in my opinion, I value AR as tier 2. So I think the tier 1 guys will go quickly, but like I was thinking pair Mahomes and Rice and get that stack, but I think you're making more sense.
But here's the other thing, bro. part of this is about the keeper value, right? Rashee Rice is probably looking at a suspension next year. So his keeper value is not going to be any, as good next year. AR5 will look really good next year, and so there's that part to look into it too. Do what you like.
All right.
Stick to your guns, but I think that you can grab Rashee Rice back and get him later than forcing yourself to go early QB and missing out on a piece that you can add to all three.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Thank you, Smitty.
All right, later, bro.
Yep.
$20 hauler from Castro. I'm sorry about the wait.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Castro to the moon, $20 hauler. What's good? What's a good trade to get rid of Diggs or keep? I have Mahomes, Lawrence, Mack, Christian McCaffrey, Achane, Chase Brown, Jalen Wright, Diggs, Devontae Smith, Amari Cooper, Coleman, Wicks, Andrews. Should I drop someone for A.D. Mitchell? I don't think you can drop any. I mean, A.D. Mitchell and Wicks is a close call. I like both of them about even. You could go A.D. Mitchell, I suppose, over Wicks for now, but I really like both of them. They're very neck and neck. Like, this is like one of those arguments where someone like Justin would call in and go, "Let me tell you why." Like, they're neck and neck. Yeah, I could rotate, each one of them. I would say if I'm you, bro, I'm trying to get rid of Amari Cooper. I don't like his situation. Don't even know how well he's going to play with Deshaun Watson. I feel like that's not. We don't know what it's going to look like. I don't like it. I'd rather get rid of Diggs. Don't love Diggs like everybody else. Devontae Smith, Coleman, love that. If it's me, and you're going to be hard pressed to be able to get rid of. You're going to be hard pressed to get rid of Diggs at the cost that you paid. I think that's unfortunate. You drive Diggs off the lot, he goes down a tremendous amount in value. It's not like a Mahomes. You drive Mahomes off the lot, he goes up in value. Diggs is gonna be hard to trade, but Diggs and like Amari Cooper for it's hard to trade two wide receivers for one, but you could try. I think you could potentially try and trade. I mean, you're set at RB. I would go get Mostert if he's out there on waivers, by the way, and I don't think he will be, but it's such a small league. I go trade for Mostert. Go trade for, and I'm not saying trade Diggs or Amari, but I think it'd be nice to have that trio. C-Mac, if C-Mac went down or something, you could start Mostert and Achane. You could probably start C-Mac, Mostert, and Achane. Mostert in your flex. Amari Cooper and Diggs for Cooper Kupp. Amari Cooper and Diggs for Drake London. Swing big. Diggs for Rashee Rice. I mean, my advice. Smitty, we drafting the holdout, CD, Chase. It's a good question, Ghost. And thanks for that super chat, pal. Appreciate you, the $20 hauler. Call in if you want more advice. We can comb through your team. We're drafting CD, Lamb, and Chase. It's just a matter of, do you take Chase in the top 6 now? Probably not. But if he falls to 7, 8, 9, you kind of got to take the gamble. If CD Lamb falls to 4, I'm taking him. Am I taking Bijan or Hall over Lamb right now? Probably, but it's just those are small adjustments. Those are like 1 or 2 player drops. But right now, you can't not take CD Lamb. I'll be honest with you, though, Ghost. We get another 4 days into this. It's different. The answer is going to evolve. And I know someone's going to get mad and say, Smitty, I called you 3 days ago and you said don't worry about Lamb. Well, every day we get closer, there's a risk. That's why we're going Bijan and Hall. Let's see here. Dak or Love? I'm going to go Love. I like Dak more, but I feel Love is more weapons, says Ben. And you got the holdout. You got, no running game. So give me Love. Hyatt for Iosivas in Dynasty. I'd rather have Iosivas by a country mile. Not only Hyatt doesn't even have a quarterback. Received a trade offer, Breece Hall and Braylon Allen for Rashee Rice and Isaiah Pacheco. I would take Breece Hall and Braylon Allen in a, I don't want to say millisecond, because damn, I mean, Rashee Rice and Pacheco are going to score a ton of points for you, but I'm going to go Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. But that's a really like interesting trade that you initially want to be like, hell no, you got to take Breece Hall. But then again, you know, I guess a lot of firepower. It's a pretty good offer, but give me Breece Hall, baby. First pick tomorrow night, Hill or CD. Give me Hill. Because CD, you don't know, bro. He's capable of holding out. He is really capable of doing it. Picking 10th in a 12-man league with two sharp people behind me. Thinking of going Gibbs, London, then Smith in the 3rd round. Kenneth Walker in the 4th round. You're planning this way too much, bro. Like, you have 4 guys already picked out. Play it by ear. But I do love Gibbs and London as the combo. I think Garrett Wilson and Kyron would also be fantastic. I think Gibbs and Achane would be fantastic. I would love to see you get Adele and a Mahomes in 3 and 4. So 3 Mahomes or Hurts or Josh Allen, obviously. And then get Adele as your wide receiver 1 and go crafty. I like that. You know, if you're drafting with sharp people, then outthink them. But there's nothing wrong with balance going Garrett Wilson, Kyron. But I do prefer Garrett Wilson and Kyron over Gibbs and London by a hair, but I love Gibbs and London. There's nothing wrong with that approach whatsoever, my guy. Whatsoever. Devontae Smith in the 3rd is nice. I don't hate that. I don't hate your approach. Your approach is fine, but I definitely don't know that I would cement it in like that. $20 hauler from Red coming in strong with the wad.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Red, hey Smitty, can I call in and we go over my team? Red, go ahead. Phone line's open. $20 hauler definitely opens up the marker board session. Okay, just so you guys know, $20 hauler marker board session awaits. Need to keep 2 in a QB point heavy super flex keeper league. Evans round 8, Kamara round 6, McBride round 22. I'm gonna say McBride right away. Or Zamir White round 19. Let's see here. Super chatting you, brother. Appreciate you. First time super chatting. Hey, $10 hauler gets a moonshot. First of all, so thank you for doing it. A 10 wad first super chat. Congratulations for dropping that, pal. Need to keep 2. So I'm going to say give me McBride in round 22. That's a home run. As far as the other pick, it's so hard, man. I mean, Evans probably round 8. Just because it gives you... I don't know that I love Kamara Evans or Zamir White from a long-term perspective anyway. I'm not saying anything bad about Zamir, but, like, you know, we like Zamir, but he's not, like, some staple for the future yet. So give me the baller in Evans, and you got Evans and McBride, and you're on your way to building a fantastic 2024 team with some future, obviously, in McBride. So that would be my approach for it. But you are going to maybe not have much left in Evans walking into the next year, but, I mean, you wouldn't with Kamara, and you don't know what you'd have with Zamir anyway. Red, you're live on the show, pal. What can I do for you?
What's going on, brother? Well, I just drafted, and I'll tell you a heads up right now. I made one mistake, and I had the second spot, the second pick in the 1st round, and I took Amon-Ra St. Brown, which was an accident. I was on my laptop, and I messed up. But my team is Josh Allen.
Hold on. One second.
Legend has it if you say
hold on. We got it. You didn't.
Legend has it if you say St. Brown 3 times in the dark in the bathroom, you will immediately lose your league.
St. Brown never appreciates being called an accident. But go ahead. St. Brown is your one.
So I got Josh Allen, Travis Etienne.
Etienne, okay.
Rashee White.
Rashee Rice?
No, Rashad.
Rashad White. Okay.
78, sorry.
I was like, what is he talking about? So this is your in order. You got Amon-Ra, Josh Allen, ETN, Rashad. Is that correct?
Flowers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a huge fan of that high of a pick for Flowers, to be honest. I know fifth round sounds great to everybody. I like them. I just think that our expectation here, I don't know, but I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, I got Flowers in the 8th.
Oh, well, you're supposed to be reading them in order.
Oh, my bad, bro. Hold on. Let me go to the draft one. I was going off my roster as I was going off of.
Yeah, I was like, you're reading them in order. You're like, yep. Yep.
All
right, go. Let's speed this up, Red. Come on. Amon-Ra, Allen, ETN. Right. Okay, go ahead. Read them in order.
All right. Amon-Ra, ETN, White, Allen, Laporta, Dell, Flowers, Najee Harris, Christian Kirk, Christian Watson, Coleman.
Okay, nice.
Jerome Ford, Jake Elliott, A.D. Mitchell.
All right, we're good. We're good.
Adam Thielen.
We're good. Okay, so what's the question, or you just want me to rate the team?
I want you to rate the team, brother.
I like it. I mean, Allen is not a mistake. I think calling him a mistake, he'll take great offense to that. I think ETN is, earlier than I'm used to seeing, but like you can't argue. He's number 4 running back last year, so like this, it's fine. Especially if running backs are flying off the board, I get it. Rashad White's the only one I don't love this pick. I don't love a 3rd round Rashad White. Who was available when Rashad White was on the board? It's a little bit of a tough one for me.
Well, I wanted Kyron Williams. He went 2 picks before me, and then I wanted Jonathan Taylor. But he went. Pacheco went the 12th pick overall. Kyron went 17th pick overall. Gibbs went 16th pick overall. I had the 2nd pick, so I had the 19th pick.
Gibbs went 16.
And yeah.
God, part of it, no, and again, I might be wrong, but part of me says in a league where this crew let Gibbs fall to 16, like that sounds like amateur hour. And if Gibbs fell to pick 16, who the hell was there in the 3rd round that you could have took over White? That's the only thing so tell me the players that were available when Rashad White.
Mixon, Henry.
Henry would have been okay there. Like, I don't love Henry in 1 or 2, but Henry there would be pretty damn good. Okay, Henry. Who else?
Cook. Jacobs.
Oh.
Kamara.
Man, Jacobs, bro.
Samir White.
No, that's way too early. What about
Walker?
What about wide receiver? Walker was there? What about wide receivers?
Yeah. Would have been Cup.
Ah, bro. What are we doing? You called in and told me your mistake was Amon-Ra St. Brown. Your mistake was calling in and telling me your mistake was Amon-Ra St. Brown. That was your first mistake because he's not a mistake. He's a great pick. But like,
I tried going.
Cup is a guy I take
board,
at the 2-3 turn. I take Cup at the 2-3 turn.
Yeah.
I take Jacobs at the. I mean, but what's your rationale for that, Red? I'm only trying to give you constructive criticism. You dropped a $20 super chat. I'm not trying to blast you.
You could, brother. No, running backs could go off the board quick.
Yeah, but you can't worry. You can't worry about that. That's the problem. You can't draft positions. You got to draft players. That's what best. Like you hear me say, best player available every day, and that's the problem. Is people don't. They hear it. They think it's so easy to do. They're like, I get it, Smitty. Best player available. You didn't go best player available. I'm not saying Rashad White's trash, but like, bro, you had Jacobs. I mean, that's a running back right there. Walker's going in non-best ball like in the 2nd round, like sometimes. But I would take Cup. I would have taken Cup. I don't even care. I would have taken Cup all day long. I know it puts you in a running back bind, but then I would have maybe figured it out with the 4th or the 5th round. I don't know. Jacobs would have been great. Henry would have been fantastic. You take this White pick out and put Henry or Jacobs or Walker or Cup there, and it's I would take all 4 of these guys over. But that's just me. Look, some people are going to come to defend you and say, like, I saw, in the comments later, too, especially on a replay, there'll be somebody that's like, Smitty, Rashad White, blah, blah, so, like, you're not alone.
Yeah.
It's not blasphemy, but damn, man, I love Cup. Cup all day there.
I did get Allen, though. I got Josh Allen. I'm
Yeah,
proud of Allen.
yeah, Allen was great value in round 4. But I would just say this this round 3, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay,
I wanted to get 8.
Part of me thinks that you could make this trade though, bro, because if you took Rashad White ahead of these guys, he's got perceptions, reality sometimes of people. I wonder if you could, and you got to do it nonchalant. Let me put this caller on hold real quick. 214, what's your name, bro, and where are you calling from? I'm going to put you on hold, but what's your name?
Hey, this is Briz.
Who? Riz?
Briz.
Briz? B-R-I-Z?
Yes.
Briz. Where are you calling from, Briz?
Orange County.
Okay. Hang tight for me real quick, bro. I'll come for you. Just mute if you could, and then I'll come right back to you. Red, I'm going to say this. If you drafted White ahead, you got to do this. You got to pick up the phone, text, Snapchat, whatever it is, walk over there, bang on his door, and just be like, hey, you want to make a trade? I don't even know what I want to trade. I'm just, I'm just staying liquid, whatever, okay? You're not trying to spill the beans. And you say, who are you looking to trade? Like I took, let's say you ask about the guy who has Henry or Jacobs or Walker. Ask about another player that's higher ranked. And they're like, I'm not trading that guy. Then slowly be like, well, I took Rashad White in the 3rd round. I don't know, you have any interest in Rashad White? Maybe Rashad White for one of your running backs? And be like, but I took him over Walker. So, like, would you give me something, like, small? If we were to swap, since I took White ahead of him. And you're either going to get one of 2 reactions. You're going to get I don't like Rashad White over Walker. I would have taken Walker. And then you're done, right? But if someone says, well, it depends on what you want, you got him. You got him. So ask that question, pose it to the Henry Jacobs Walker owner if you agree with me. If you don't agree and you like Rashad White more than those guys, bro, trust your gut. Like I like Rashad White. I just don't like him over these guys. Cooper Kupp. If you did the Cooper Kupp trade, who would be your running back 2, though? You got ETN and who else? Ford and Najee. Can you get Jalen Warren? Is he on waivers or something?
Jalen Warren went before Najee did.
Okay.
I just got Najee because Jalen Warren's off the board.
The reason I said waivers is
my backup running backs are Jerome Ford and Najee Harris.
Yeah. This league, I just wondered if he was sitting on waivers in this particular league. You got some steals. Like Red, before you walk away from this phone call feeling defeated, because you shouldn't. I hyper-focused on one thing. You got Dell in round 6. You shouldn't have got him in 5. You got Laporta in round 5. He goes in 3-4. You got Flowers in 8. He goes too early in round 5, round 4. You got him in 8. You got Coleman. You got ETN. You got Josh Allen in 4. He should be going in 2 or 3. You got Amon-Ra. That's perfect placement there. You crush every single pick. And not only that, you went above and beyond crushing at almost every single pick. It was only one thing I was identifying. You have a home run team here, okay? So just I want to make sure I didn't derail the whole vibe, Just it's a good team, bro. Very good team.
I appreciate it, bro.
Try and get rid of you might even be able to trade Flowers and Rashad White for one slightly. That's what I would do. That's what I'd do. Rashad White and Flowers should buy you an Achane or a Kyron or a Pacheco. Go smash that, bro. You got enough depth to do it. That's what I'm doing.
I appreciate you, brother.
All right, go. Tell me when you've done that. Come back and let us know when you've done that. I think you're going to get a trade done. I think Flowers and Rashad White will get you one running back. I think you're going to smash this. All right, later. Briz, what's up, Briz? Briz with the Riz.
Hey, man. Love what you do.
Thanks, pal.
All right, so I got a keeper league. I can keep 4. I got Breece Hall. I got Bijan. And I got Amon-Ra. I need to know, do I need C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, or Devontae Smith as my 4th?
The rounds don't matter?
Nope.
It's one QB, I assume.
Yes, sir.
6 points per TD pass or no?
Yes.
I mean, look, I think you get Stroud back in the second round even of your upcoming drafts once you throw everybody back. So I'm going to say no, but keep an eye on him. I'd love to see you get him back. Honestly, like Devontae Smith and Dell, I love both of them. I guess I lean Smith a little bit. Just a little bit. But at the same time, Dotson there now. Not that Dotson ruins or just anything, but it's just like, I mean, it's 3 wide receivers there. It's 3 wide receivers over here. They're both great quarterbacks, both great offenses. Dell. I changed my mind to Dell. Do it live. We got do I have an animation for Devontae Smith? No. But do I have one for Dell?
One Tank Dell special, please. Coming right up.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll be honest though, bro. I have gone back and forth, even on like the last couple live streams where I've been asked Devontae Smith or Dell. I've said Devontae Smith on a couple of them. I've said Dell on a couple, but that's splitting hairs. But yeah, I probably go Dell.
Here's the second question.
All right.
If you drop CJ, would you go AR5, Kyler, or JD5?
AR5
Because they're all there.
AR5, Kyler, or Stroud. Like I would definitely consider drafting Stroud back, but I think any one of those 3 would be great. Fantastic. League winning. They're all great quarterbacks. They're all outside the top 3 or 4, but like capable of dancing in that tier.
And you get first pick on keeper Marvin Harrison?
I get what?
If you get first pick on the keeper Marvin Harrison?
First pick on the keeper. What do you mean? You mean you get first pick in the draft?
First pick of the draft.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know what language we were talking there. All right. So first pick in the draft, who's available? You said all those quarterbacks were available, but who else is available? Marvin Harrison Jr., what running back, what wide receiver? I need more information, bro. So I'm probably going to say MHJ.
Okay.
I'm probably going to say MHJ, though, but go ahead. Who do you got? And then I got to run.
I don't have that list ready. No
Okay.
one's put their keepers in
Well,
yet.
then I can't answer it. But
Thank you, sir.
I will say very, very close to saying MHJ for sure. All right, later, bro. Especially if you got long-term like keeper rights to him. Like this is an indefinite keeper, or is it like 3-year max?
Yes.
Yeah,
Indefinite.
it's gonna be like you're gonna have to tell me Bijan or something, bro. So yeah, home run.
Yeah, I got Brees Hall, Bijan for the long run.
Yeah. All right, later, bro. That was pretty big smash there. I got a couple phone calls coming in. 210. Call back in just 1 second, bro. I gotta answer these super chats. Joe with a $20 holler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Joe, appreciate you. Grandma format. Love Stroud, Gibbs, Taylor, Jacobs, Chase Brown, Cooper Kupp, Jaden Reed, Christian Kirk, Sutton, Kincaid. Tried to go running back QB, but there was a run on QBs early. Went Jacobs, Kupp. Thoughts on my team? I like it. You know, Taylor, Gibbs is nice. Jacobs is 3 fantastic running backs, bro. Love is very good quarterback, so you're fine there. Cooper Kupp, Jaden Reed, Kirk Sutton. I like the wide receiver room. I would love to love it. It's very close. I think that Kupp's a fantastic piece. Am I trying to somehow get into a... I mean, you got Jaden Reed and Love there. It's kind of nice, but not necessarily getting you extra points on a stack, right? But do I like... Would I trade Kirk maybe? Damn. I wonder if you could trade Jacobs and Kirk for like a bigger name. I love Jacobs, but I'm always interested in upgrading anybody. Chase Brown probably won't get you what you want, but you could try. And I love Chase Brown. I don't like trading Chase Brown around away very much, but you could go Kirk and Chase Brown for one slightly better wide receiver. I would explore that. You know, talking about a wide receiver like, I mean, damn, what if you could get a MHJ, a London, a Debo, a Cooper Kupp-like player to put next to Cooper Kupp. I am getting rid of Jaden Reed and Chase Brown for that. Kirk and Chase Brown for that. Some might say Kirk is that guy, but I just don't. I don't feel the same way. I don't share those feelings. I don't reciprocate. But that's okay. We don't all have to agree. Ben says, going with my gut, Rachaad White, Smitty. Go with your gut, Ben. Rachaad White. I like Rachaad White. I just don't like him over Kupp, Henry, Jacobs, Walker. Julius with a $5 wad. In best ball, take T-Law 30 picks past ADP or wait to get Geno. I'd probably take T-Law. I don't like Geno, bro. I wouldn't leave my backup QB to Geno. I like T-Law a little bit. He's been doing pretty well in the preseason. I mean, Ingram touchdown, threading the needle with BT. I don't mind T-Law as my second quarterback. $10 hauler, appreciate you dropping a 10 wad. Riley with a $10 wad, you get a moonshot. Trade away Jaden Daniels. 813, calling in a minute. I'm going to answer the phone lines again in 1 second. Trade away Jaden Daniels, Chris Olave, Zamir for Chase and Spears. Jaden Daniels, Chris Olave, Zamir. I'm assuming this is redraft. If it's Dynasty, you're not trading Jaden Daniels. Team is Mahomes, Gibbs. So you don't necessarily need JD5 in a redraft. I'm assuming it's redraft because you're not trading JD5 in a Dynasty. I'd probably take Jamar Chase in this situation, yeah, because you got Mahomes, you're fine. But make sure this is, Dynasty. I mean, you maybe consider it, but I think we just have a deeper conversation about it. What's up, Smitty? AR5, Brees, Monty, St. Brown, Rice, Dobbs, Aubrey at kicker, 14 team to the moon, yes or no? AR5, Brees, Monty, St. Brown, Rice, Dobbs, Aubrey, 14 team, call it a 7.5. Don't take offense to that one. Just make sure you're on the money on the waiver wire. You get that waiver wire guy. You drop the full low drop on somebody that we're sniffing out as a potential league winner. Or you make the most amazing trade. Maybe, you get something for Monty and Dobbs or something like that. But 14 teamers are tough, and that's a pretty good squad. I don't hate it at all. I think it's really solid. I think you're easily in the top 6. To give you like that 8.0 plus rating would be like, I'm very much looking to your team to be one of the top 2 or 3 teams to win it all. So you just need one slight move. And sometimes that's the way it is in a situation like that. A 14 teamer, there are not a lot of teams. They're all pretty even because it's such a dry, rounds 5, 6, 7. You start getting, those 2 extra picks each round, start drying it out so quickly. Would you rather have AR5 or JD5? Dynasty, JD5. Redraft, I think AR5 for now, but my answer might change to JD5 by midseason. Just know that. And Pitts or McBride, give me McBride all day long. I like Pitts a lot, but McBride could be the number 1 overall tight end this year. I think Pitts could be top 5. I have the 1.2. Tomorrow, would you take a Hill or CD? I'm going to go Hill for now because of the holdout, bro. He's wearing a removable cast, or was, and, it's removable. It's not long-term. They're joking around about it at the press conference, so I'm not too worried about Hill's injury, and I'm more worried about Lamb holding out. So, 813 caller, what is your name and where are you calling from, 813?
Hey, Smitty, this is John from Florida.
John from Florida. John, what can I do for you?
Hey, Smitty, I had a quick question for you. This is going to be my 3rd year playing in fantasy football, and I wanted you to maybe rate a team for me if it's possible. I did a free league last night, and I just want to see if I'm on the right track because I got a money league coming up.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I was actually 4th place in a 10-man full PPR, and I don't know how, but CD Lamb dropped to me, so I went ahead and got him.
Well, I know how. Pick. I know how. He's holding out. So, I mean, this makes sense, but that's about where I'm like, okay, I'm jumping in. I'm still in. So I don't think you stole him away. I think you got him where he's probably going. This is about where his ADP is right now. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
So my first one was CD Lamb. My second pick was Kevin Williams.
You had a great pick.
And then I went Devon Achane on the 3rd.
Smash.
And I went Mahomes on the 4th. And then 5th, I think, was Devontae Smith.
You're crushing the grandma computer. the computer drafters.
Then I went McBride as the tight end.
I'm sure you did.
And then I just got like Moss right now as my flex.
Okay.
But I also got Xavier Worthy. I got Chris. I think his name was Chris Brown.
Chase Brown.
And Chase Brown. And I think I got I can't remember who the other guy is. But so far, my question was, how's that looking to you?
Yeah, like you get that, you're winning the league. But, hard pressed to draft that good in a league where people are alive and have a pulse.
I got you. Well,
because you smashed every single pick. Like, those are fantastic picks, except for maybe Moss. Moss might not be the best pick where you took him, but everything else was a home run. But you're probably looking at every one of those selections going 8 draft selections higher than you got them. That's the expectation you should have, because getting Achane and Kyren in the 2nd and 3rd round is what you can do in best ball. But in a non-best ball environment, you're going to be very hard-pressed to get those 2 guys in the 2nd and 3rd round. You're more so looking 1st and 2nd round. And so, Mahomes in 4, you're looking at probably needing to spend a 3rd rounder on Mahomes. But if you get him at 4, do it. Like, try and deploy what you just did. But that's going to be hard to do.
I got you. My first strategy was going to be like wide receiver, running back, quarterback. But I know I've seen some stuff on your videos that said, like, try to get the best player.
Yeah, best player available is what led you to the team you just drafted, which was a home run. So don't set on anything. Yeah, it's good to be like, this is what I want to do. I want to go running back, but you got to be open-minded to going in a different direction. All right, bro.
Thank you so much, bro.
All right,
appreciate
it. 630, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yo, Smitty, this is Alvi from Hawaii.
Alvi from Hawaii. What is going on? What island are you from?
Oahu.
Okay. That's the Waikiki one?
Yes, sir.
Alvi from Hawaii. I almost died on the Mokaluas. I was one of the idiot.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I was one of the idiot kids that when I was 18 years old, and the Mokalua Islands are out on the about a mile out from.
Yep.
It's not Waikiki Beach, is it? What beach is it that they're on?
I mean, you still there?
Alvi, what beach are they on?
You said it right, Waikiki.
Okay, so they're out like in the ocean about a mile, 1 mile. Are they about 1 mile away? They're about 1 mile away, and they're so.
I mean, if you can swim, if you can make that swim, I'm pretty impressed.
Well, I canoed. So we canoed.
Oh, okay.
We canoed out to the right island, and there's a beach on the island right here. But these islands are so far out there. There's no waves anymore. There's swells. And so, and I believe the only thing this way is like China or something, right? Over here. Yeah. So we're sitting here, we climb up and we slowly climb up the mountain, and it goes around and it wraps to the top of this right Mokalua Island, and it's kind of flat at the top. And I don't know, how high would you say the top of the Mokalua Island is from the sand? Like, if you were to say, like, how high up is that? Like,
man,
like 5
stories,
like
stories tall.
Like what? Like 10 stories, 8 stories? 10-story building?
Man, I would say right off the top of my head, 9 or 10.
Okay,
It's
so
up there.
9 or 10 stories high. So let me just draw this. I just want everybody to know why I almost died and how I'm not that big of an idiot. 9 to 10 stories high, this island is. And you don't know. Like, I don't live on the ocean. I don't know. I'm 18 years old. I canoe out there. We're standing on the top. Me and my brother standing on the top of the Mokalua Islands, just, raising our hands, screaming, "Woo, we're on top of the world!" And we're just sitting there, and we're looking out at, China. You can't see China, but we're looking. And we're 9 to 10 stories high. I didn't think I was in any danger. Why would I think I'm in danger when I'm 9 to 10 stories above the water? And so the swells start going like this, and we're looking out toward China, and all of a sudden the swell comes up. We see turtles and fish, and we're like, "Whoa, you see that turtle?" And we didn't really think like, hey, this swell is coming so high up, and it's a swell, not a wave, that we can see a turtle in our line of sight. You know, it's far out there, and the swell's moving and getting closer and closer, and it's crashing toward the island. And then eventually the swell goes on top of the whole island and goes above it was at least, I would say, like 5 to 7 feet above our head, above the top of at least the part of the island we were at. It swept us off, and we should have died because maybe we're on the left island, I forget, because right here there was all this jagged rocks and things like that, and I just like hit something. I just hit something on the side of the thing, and my brother was holding on, and I landed on him, and we're just holding on. We should have died. And then we come around, we get in the canoe, and we're bleeding everywhere. One of my sandals was over on the beach on the corner. I don't know how I got over there. I'm like, "There's my sandal." So I had one sandal that I found later. I'm bleeding all over. We're jagged rocks all over our arms. We canoe back to the family, and we're like, you know, waving him down. We thought it was a big deal. Like, we almost died. And they're like, what? And then our cousins just like kicked us out of the canoe and like, it's our turn. And they went toward the Mokaluas. We're like, don't go. But anyway, it was.
I'm glad you're still here.
Yeah, well, otherwise this show wouldn't be here. But Mokalua Islands.
Right.
All right, real quickly. Sorry about that story. What could I do for you, bro?
Yeah, so I'm in a Dynasty startup right now. I'm at the 205, and somehow St. Brown is down here.
205?
But I had already gotten, right? Like crazy.
You drafting with Mokalua, people that go to the Mokaluas. You're drafted with 11 people that would canoe out to the Mokalua Islands and just stand on top of it.
That
These
might
people
be true.
don't know. Okay, St.
That
Brown.
might be
Okay,
true.
who's there? Because I highly doubt there's. What pick are you at? 2 point what?
205.
Okay, who's there? And I'll tell you if they're better than St. Brown. Probably not.
I'm torn between St. Brown and JD5. I haven't taken a quarterback yet.
Super flex.
Super flex.
Okay, that's why he's there. Okay, I missed that. Yeah, so St. Brown at 205 is normal in super flex. Okay. 2.5 JD5 or St. Brown. Who are you going to get? Who do you have in the first round?
I took Jettis, unfortunately.
Okay, so
JJ.
Why'd you take JJ in a super flex? What pick?
I traded back, actually. I traded back to 111.
111.
But I originally had the 1.8.
Okay. I don't know about that. Okay, so JJ, this is Dynasty Superflex.
Yes, sir.
I think you got to go JD5, especially because you punted QB in round 1. But this is a fantastic start. I mean, in a Dynasty, I think it's really, really good. But I definitely would have potentially gone QB here, and then you could have gone St. Brown. But look, this is good. You know, this is a good team. I'm not. But you got to go. What other QBs are there, just so I know?
Herbert is above JD5, and then after JD5 is Lawrence.
No. You better go. You better get JD5. If you don't get JD5, you might be screwed.
All right.
Get Cousins and Penix Jr. together later, and no one's going to want Cousins. Make sure you monitor the suggested rank. Don't let him climb the board so high that like you're trying to time it perfectly or someone's going to snag him. So you got to reach about a round early. Yeah. But Cousins, nobody's going to want him. His ADP is going to be awful. What does it say his ADP is on the suggested rank?
For Kirk?
No, for Kirk. Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
He's 89 right now.
And what's the ADP suggested rank for Penix Jr.?
117.
117. Wow. So 89 is right around. 89 is right around the 8th round. So make sure you're monitoring where he's falling, because if he's going to go in the 8th round and you try and grab him at the end of the 8th round, you're not paying attention. Okay, so 8th round, and then wherever Penix Jr. is going, as you said, this is your home run QB2. People are avoiding Cousins because he's got a ticking timer, He's got an expiration date, and Penix isn't the starter. So for whatever reason, it's the perfect combination of doubt in a dynasty superflex. You grab that. Now the rest of your picks, rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, because you might be taking Cousins early in 7. Rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, smash non-QB while everybody is potentially scrambling to grab the last of them. Okay?
All right.
All right,
That's
bro.
a good plan.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, later, man. All be to the moon. Hawaii. Mokalua. I need a shirt that says, I almost died on the Mokalua Islands. I am a tourist. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, does everybody get, like, you wouldn't know. You go out to an island and you're 10 stories high. You wouldn't even think. I didn't even cross my mind that this island wasn't just going to sit there and, like, you know what I mean? Like, you see in movies, people are on islands all the time. Like, I just thought I was on an island. How would I know that the island goes underwater? 210 caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, I'm Joseph. I'm from San Antonio.
What are you saying? It sounds like you're in underwater, bro. Who from San Antonio? What?
Hello? Can you hear me better?
There you are. I don't know what you're doing. What?
I had an AirPod.
What's your name? From where? From San Antonio? What?
Joseph.
Joseph, what can I do for you, Joseph?
So I'm drafting tomorrow night. I have the 1.09, and I just need some like draft advice. What draft strategy should I go into tomorrow?
1.9?
Yeah, and it's old man, PPR.
I mean, it could go 100 different directions, bro. I very much love going running back there if you think you'll get away with some wide receiver droppage.
Yeah, I was doing some mocks. Like, I would either, like, I don't know, I wouldn't consider reaching for Jahmyr Gibbs, but I would just take him since, like, his ADP is, like, in the second, but I'm just afraid I won't get him whenever the turnaround comes in the second round. So I either take him, or if someone falls out of the top 8 ADP, I just take him.
So what wide receivers do you think Cup falls to your third round pick, or no?
I'm in Yahoo League, so the ADP, they usually take him in, like, the early third round.
Okay. So you're not going to get Cup, you don't think, but you could get wide receivers. What I expect you to see. Neighbors, Dell, Devontae Smith. So I'm not afraid to do this. It's not for the faint of heart, but if you were to go Gibbs, which I love, I'm fine with that. Gibbs and Kyron, Gibbs and Achane, if you wanted to deploy, or Gibbs and Barkley. You don't always have to take Kyron and Achane like I do. I understand not everybody loves these guys, but Gibbs and Kyron, or Gibbs and Barkley, or Gibbs and Achane. Those are my running back, players of choice. And if you get to this territory where, do you think Mahomes, Hurts, or Josh Allen will fall to your third round pick?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you think they'll fall to your fourth round pick?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I go with the top QB left of the QBs there in the fourth round.
Okay.
And in the third round, you just smash the best wide receiver you can. And then it sounds like this league will allow you to maybe even get Dell in round 5.
Yeah, sometimes, Dell does fall. Around that, it's usually like Dell, Dave Flowers, Kirk, but I usually take Dell.
Yeah, I don't like Kirk there that much. But, yeah, bro. I mean, Mike Evans, Devontae Smith. Who's the best receiver you might get? You don't think London? No, he wouldn't fall. Sometimes London falls to the third round.
Sometimes DJ Moore falls to the third round.
I'm not loving that.
You take him?
No, I don't love DJ Moore.
What about Pittman and DK?
Don't like Pittman there at all. In the third round, hell no. Devontae Smith and Hurts would be pretty killer.
A pancake stack.
Yeah, I like that. So that'd be a good team. I mean, your wide receivers would be Devontae Smith and Dell, but you have a smash of a situation. But let's map out the other one real quick. Let's say you go Gibbs and
what about running back receivers?
Yeah, let's say you go Gibbs and MHJ.
I like that.
And then now in round 3, you get. Could Could you get Pacheco in round 3?
Nah, he goes like early second or like mid.
Everyone's ADP is so. For anybody watching, going Smitty not know ADP. ADPs on every platform are different. Pacheco goes in the 3rd and 4th round in best ball. He goes in the 2nd round on certain formats. He goes in the 3rd round on others.
Yeah, everything's different.
Yeah, let's see. Jacobs. Who else?
Oh, Jacobs. Oh yeah, Jacobs.
Jacobs will be there for your format. ETN probably not.
Kenny.
So let's go. What about Kelsey?
Kelsey?
Yeah.
You think he still like? You don't think he progresses or like falls down?
I think if you're gonna go Mahomes Kelsey here, that's a pretty cool stack. And not that it's needed again in non-best ball, but okay. So even if you didn't, let's go Mahomes in the 4th round. Let's go. You've already got one wide receiver. You could go wide receiver, but I tend to think the way you're talking, your round 3 is going to be tough wide receiver shopping. Maybe better running back shopping or not. Maybe Laporta.
Yeah,
it seems early. What running backs are?
Jacobs in the 3rd.
Okay.
Kenneth. Joe Mixon. I don't like Joe Mixon.
Yeah, let's go. Gibbs, MHJ, Jacobs, or Cup if Cup does fall. Mahomes, and then Dell or Kincaid or something like that. It's a good team
I like
too.
that. I like that.
That team might be the way to go then. That's how you. If you're not, that doesn't sound like you're a very, very fond of the running back as much as you are the balance. So. Go Gibbs, because that's where your heart's at. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. And then draft the best player available in the 2nd. If MHJ's there.
You think I should try to cuff him with Monty like in the 6th?
Yeah, if you can get Monty that late, that is a cuff. If you have to grab Monty in 4 or 5, then it's not a cuff anymore. It's standalone value, and it kind of gets risky. But if you can get him as a cuff, that's great. He could also be a running back 2 if you wanted. I like going Achane and Mostert in a lot of leagues and getting right and then saying, you know what, screw everyone's fragile Freddy fears of going with that system. But I would 100%. So like you could. This my last thing would be like, let's say you went Garrett Wilson here, and you went Achane here. I mean, I don't mind this at all. And then you could get Mostert later. And you could literally go non-zero running back the rest of the way. You could go hero RB attached to this Miami Dolphin rushing attack. It's definitely doable. If for any reason Cup fell or something like that, like Garrett Wilson, Achane, Cup, Mahomes, McBride, etc. Rashee Rice and Worthy, whatever, and then get Mostert later. As late
as. What are your thoughts on Jake Ferguson in the 7th?
Yeah. Fergie's going to do good.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Later.
All right. Super chats, and then we might be out of here. I'll be back tonight. Appreciate you all. Alex, appreciate you with the $5. Alex says, hey, Smitty, 14-team PPR, Bijan, Achane, Hurts, Dell. Wow. Bijan, Achane, Hurts, Dell. That's a neighbors. Coleman, J-Mo, Zamir, Ford. Thoughts? Fumbled tight end a bit. Did you though? I like Musgrave. I mean, he's risky, but you do want to couple him with somebody. But bro, this is a good team. 14-teamer? I'm sorry, but it's an 8.5. It's an 8.5. I don't give very many 8.0s, bro. And yours is a 14-teamer. Bijan, Achane, Hurts, Dell, Neighbors, Coleman, J-Mo, Benson. I don't think he fumbled anything. Look, you're gonna have some holes somewhere if you're stacking like you are. So 8.5, Alex, and a 14-teamer, 100%. I don't see how people have a better team than that. Teddy says keep Hurts for a 6th-rounder or Bijan for a 1st-rounder. Probably gonna say, that's so tough because this is again you gotta map out what it all means and what does it look like at the end of the day. What's the 2 teams look like? You can't just like say, you got to go with the best guy. It's not that simple. So if you go Bijan here, you got this normal looking team, right? But it's a keeper league, right? So you're almost in round 3 in your situation in round 2. And so you got this team where you're probably still getting a quarterback. Let's say you get a Stroud or something right here, or you even have to reach a little bit. Let's say Stroud right here in your 4th round pick, essentially, which would be a 5th round pick in theory. This is a good team, you know. Whereas if you're writing Bijan there, you got to say to yourself, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're keeping Hurts in the 6th round, you still get your 1st round pick now because you're not writing Bijan in. So who's that player? If that player is even a St. Brown or potentially higher, but maybe even slightly lower, like if we talk about Achane or Kyren being one of those guys, let's call it Achane over Bijan, the answer is hell yes. If you're telling me you get a Jalen Hurts in round 6. So this player with Hurts crushes just Bijan. So it does depend on who this player can be, though. And if I have that all correct, and that's what you meant. So Teddy, smash your league, do it live. Appreciate it. You got to map it out like that. You got to really look at what we're talking about. Rock out. What's up?
Yeah, I got a dilemma. Like in ESPN, they basically make you take Pacheco in the 2nd.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough. It's kind of like Dell. I love Dell. Pacheco and Dell are on the Moonman Marsman Saturn list group, but doesn't mean I love them when they get drafted too high. Like, you know. But what's the dilemma?
I have to take Pacheco in the 2nd.
Well, what are the options? You don't have to.
Like Pacheco, even Achane sometimes there.
Yeah, I mean Achane over. Achane.
Olave.
I'm taking Pacheco over Olave. Tier break even. Mini tier break between Achane and Pacheco. Major tier break between Pacheco and Olave.
Hold on.
All right, while you look for that, guys, just so you know, there's no new news on the Aiyuk front, other than there's this report here where it suggests that maybe McLaurin was a request by the Niners and the Commanders said no. But it doesn't sound like Jahan Dotson was a request, as mentioned, as I kind of speculated last night, that maybe they just didn't want, the Niners didn't want Dotson. Everyone kept saying, well, if a trade was going to happen, they would ask for Dotson. Not necessarily. And do we think that there's a potential trade in the works or conversation? The answer is no one fully knows. And even if somebody says they have a source, until we hear from somebody, we can't say. According to a few reports, the 49ers are still working on a deal with Brandon Aiyuk. Niners insiders say. What Niners insiders? Stop using these terms. All of you Mickey Mouse reporters out there. You act like you have information you don't. The Commanders and Steelers don't expect him in the team huddle week 1. What? What's this? Let me go look at it. What's up?
Yeah, I might be able to get Harrison that, because they say he goes like 21.
Man, Deebo Samuel looking good. There's a catch by Deebo in that game that looks really, really nice. I also think T-Law looked pretty good. Ingram looked good. Okay, I'm sorry, you said MHJ?
Yeah.
I think MHJ and Achane are in the same tier. So MHJ and Achane, mini tier break, but still respectably close, Pacheco, and then a pretty major tier break, like a round difference, Pacheco, Olave.
And it looks like I can get Deebo in the 3rd.
Deebo is right there with Pacheco. All right, rock out. Rock out to the moon.
I appreciate it.
Later, bro. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you all tonight, most likely. Hit that Underdog Fantasy link that's in the description of the video. It's also pinned in the live chat. It's also dropping live right here. We got one more super chat from Brandon. Brandon says, let's see what Brandon says. Hit that link. I just dropped it so you can draft tonight. Smitty having a real tough time deciding between Bijan or Brees. Who is the pick and why? There's no answer to this, Brandon. I mean, talking about two Saturn men, you know, like they're side by side.
The Saturn men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
I mean, all these guys are just, they're monsters. Bijan, Brees, Bijan. There's just no, the only thing that would make me tip the scale slightly would be that Bijan's every down back. Hall is literally an every down back, but they don't use him at the goal line and they brought in Braylon Allen. So, like, there's potentially more overall touchdown likelihood for Bijan. Not necessarily more total yards or anything. So, I'm going to say Bijan, but that's just because he seems locked in, you know, to all the work. I mean, he's going to be spelled, of course. You don't want, like, they're going to run the ball 400 plus times. You only want Bijan running 240 to 250 times maximum. So, I don't want to hear Algier, the ridiculous Mickey Mouse take that people throw out there. Just ridiculous. All right. Appreciate you. Mason, don't even drop the Algier commentary. Please, you're embarrassing yourself. Bijan is laughing at you.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special message from the Bruce's mother.
Get Bijan.
Don't forget, the draft is tomorrow. Moon Men, Mars Men, side-by-side draft at the same time, split screen. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. See you all here for the Moon Men and Mars Men draft, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to be a doozy. Thank you to my super chatters. Thank you, Brandon, Ted, Alex, Lucas, Ben G, 1, LXV, Mind Jedi, Joe with the 20, Julius Cook, Riley, Red with the 20, Standing Up, Ghost, Ben, Thomas, Jerry, Castro with the 20, Ben, 86, Superfish, appreciate you. Jonathan, Edward M, Devo, Jaime with the 20, Castro, E-Rock, Axe with the 20, Rye Guy McFly with the 20, TM42, Elgin, Mark Cleveland with the 20, Wash Your Drawers with the 20, Roy with the 20, Giovanna, Messiah, Giancarlo, appreciate you all. See you all most likely tonight.
There are 2 5s? JD 5? AR 5? There can't be.
Oh no. They're gonna cross streams.
Thanks to the mods, Blackbeard, Travis, Space Ricky, Sick Nasty, anybody else that's in here moderating, appreciate you all. speedster wide receiver from the combine.
He can't catch.
He has hands.
Just fast. Many say he won't make it at the next level.
Enough. Watch me. I must go back and make it right.
Xavier Worthy. He can't catch. Just fast. Just fast. Just fast. He won't make it.
Catch this. Great catch. Wow, nice catch. He's not overrated catching the ball.
He can really catch.
It's Chiefs season. Mahomes is scoring 45-plus touchdowns. Let them cook.
One Tank Dell special, please. Coming right up.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, live whenever news breaks. So we'll be live if something happens here tonight even. And live 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. See you all probably tonight at midnight Eastern or a little after. Deuces.